Well, folks, we got the starting lineups announced early, as well as the national anthem here at Joe Ballman Stadium out in Roswell, New Mexico, as your Alpine Cowboys are set to face off against the Roswell Invaders. I'm Ryan Weil, joined by my partner, Rowan Elbert, on the call today. We're on Big Ben Radio, KVLF 98.7 FM, locally in Alpine, and we're back on YouTube on the brand new Alpine Cowboy YouTube channel live streaming. We've got live stats showing up there. You can see on YouTube right now the team stats as we'll talk about the starting lineups real quick. The After the first pitch is thrown, the first pitch thrown by the nurse of the year at the local hospital. She was delivered here via helicopter at exactly 6:05 local time, 7:05 back in Alpine time.
One of my favorite traditions that they do here in Roswell, having the nurse of the year come in on a helicopter. I mean, that's like a dream entrance right there. And
Yeah.
it's getting done by a well-deserved candidate.
Absolutely. And again, our starting lineup here for your Alpine Cowboys in game one against the Roswell Invaders. We'll have to scroll down to find our batting average leaders because these guys up top, as you can see them, and Will Glick no longer with the team, a couple of relief pitchers, and Josh Rago and Xavier Croxton all have the top five batting averages on the team, some small sample sizes. And again, Xavier Croxton and Josh Rago with a 418 and 391 average, respectively, have been called up. But we're focused on today's game. Sean Becker in the leadoff position. His average has fallen. He was tied with James Prockish for the highest on the team, uh, but now a 3.57 batting average for Sean Becker.
Again, Becker has proven himself to be very much worthy of being in the leadoff spot. He's been very good for the Cowboys, really in the last stretch as well. He's really impressed me. I think he's a call-up candidate.
Yeah. And utility player as well. That's another bonus for his chances at getting called up. He can play anywhere for a club at another level. Now looking at the two spot in the order, Kyle Rodriguez. Kyle Rodriguez, the Central Washington candidate, is playing at shortstop today. Again, him and Tripp kind of switched up a few, maybe about a week ago now. Kyle has been a regular shortstop, and over at second base, we've seen Trevor Tripley on the regular. It'll be a bit different today. We'll talk about that here soon. Kyle Rodriguez with a 325 batting average. Now batting third in the order is James Prockish, the highest batting average on the team at 368. Certified Pecos League legend. Is he on the is the podcast up just yet?
The podcast will be up, I'm hoping tonight. It might be a late night drop. I mean, music artists do that. They release a song at midnight. How about us?
Yeah, you better. Hopefully that thing has 100 views at midnight.
Yeah, midnight podcast.
Now batting fourth in the order, the cleanup spot, Brandon Andrews. Let's see. How many home runs does Brandon Andrews have,
5.
Rowan? He has 5 home runs. So that's the home run column as you see it on YouTube. Again, 5 home runs. That's the second most on the team currently, with James Prockish having 9. Batting fifth in the order, a new face, Carson Kirby, originally from from Kennesaw, Georgia.
Yes. Went to school at the NAIA level, in that area, and now here he is with a connection from Khalil Wilson, a former Cowboy. He's able to come here.
As the first pitch from Ira Clifton misses just low, 1-0 the count to Sean Becker, again the leadoff hitter. We're flying right into things. We got some flies up here. Aaron Izquierdo will bat sixth in the order. He's the first baseman. We have added Mateo Avalone to the team and the roster, returning from last year. But again, Aaron has it today, as this is found for a strike on the outside, 1-1.
And how about that, though? For a reveal, we've been teasing it for days. Mateo Avalone is a Cowboy once again.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Becker grounds it on the third base side. It's a fair ball. Throw across the diamond in time. 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the first inning, again against the Roswell Invaders. Another thing I think we should preview real quick is the records of these two teams. Cowboys sitting third place comfortably in the Mountain South Division, as in they won't fall to fourth place, barring something unforeseen, Rowan.
Yeah, Roswell, they are 6-31, dead last in the Mountain South, dead last in the Mountain Division for that matter, and are on a 9-game losing streak.
A real step back year for a club that has had a lot of success traditionally in the Pecos League.
Yeah, I mean, most titles in Pecos League history, it's definitely a surprise, but at the same time, maybe this is what they needed. I mean, again, it happens to everybody. You never thought it would be them.
Now it's Kyle Rodriguez taking a strike at the knees, 0-1. Kyle Rodriguez, again, the shortstop today. And just to breeze through things at the tail end of the lineup here, John Tuttle, the Roswell native, the catcher, batting in the 7 hole. Humberto Villa is our pitcher today. He's batting 8th in the order. And Trevor Tripoli will bat 9th. He's at third base today. Ron, is that right? Or did I miss something here? No, James is at third.
Yeah, he's at second.
I don't know why I wrote a 5 next to his name, as this is missing for a ball.
Oh, that's smart that you write the numbers instead of the positions because I mean it's a lot quicker.
Yeah, and it, I forced myself to do it early on, and now I've learned the numbers
Yeah,
off the
just to
dome.
memorize it. Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle Rodriguez again steps in here. Ira Clifton on the mound. Delivers to K-Rod, a swing and a miss on the slider, low and away. Oh, that's strike 3 to retire Kyle Rodriguez. 2 up, 2 down. We'll take a brief look at Ira Clifton's stats here. Again, Ira is a guy that we've seen at times for this Pecos, or I'm sorry, for this Roswell Invader team.
At Clifton out of Oklahoma Christian, just recently graduated from there. Was mainly a relief option in college, but now they use him as a starter because they kind of have to.
As he finds his zone for a strike. He's dotting up the zone right now. Again, Oklahoma Christian is a Lone Star Conference program, came to Alpine at the tail end of their college season this year, played against the Lobos as this is found for a strike. 0-2 the count quickly to James Procish. I called those games wrong.
He was also at Erskine for 4 years. Do you know about that school? They're D2.
Never heard of him.
So they're not in the Lone Star. That tells me that.
Here's the 0-2. Procish fouls it over the top. Count stays at 0-2. Ira has a 6.58 ERA, thrown 39 innings for this team. He's started in 5 games, appeared in 9 games, a 1-3 record for Ira. We talk about that walks and hits per innings pitch margin. He's kept the walk rate low, about half a walk per inning right now at 19 walks in 39 innings, but giving up 55 hits. And we've seen a bit of that here as he's found the zone, got ahead in these counts. The 0-2 pitch to James Procish misses low and away. Now 1-2 count.
Ira Clifton is arguably the best Roswell has on the mound. And unfortunately for the Cowboys, they got to face him in game 1, but the pitcher they'll face in game 2 should be an easier matchup.
As this is grounded on the right side towards the second baseman, 3 up. No, the throw way off the mark to the first base bag. First baseman Najee King just watched that fly by and shrugs his shoulders.
Oh my goodness. I've never seen anything like that. Mikey Alonso, that's a routine play. Just shanked it off on the right side. That kind of symbolizes what it's been for Roswell this year.
Yeah, again, that one got to him quick, had plenty of time, and just sailed it off to the side. Again, we're at Joe Ballman Stadium where aliens came and shot lasers all over the infield and tore it up. They also host monster truck rallies, rumor has it, in the offseason. Maybe the helicopter landing on the field before the ball game had a role to play, as this is found for a strike 0-1. It's a 2 umpire crew, both New Mexicans, as Eric Brown is the home plate umpire today. He's out of Portales, relatively local, and Keith Dunlap, a local Roswell guy. As Andrews hits a hard ground ball to the shortstop, he will step on the second base bag himself to end the top of the first. Again, one base runner reached via the error. That was James Procish. Brandon Andrews in the 4th spot grounded out to end this top of the first inning, and we'll be back in a moment. Here from KVLF 98.7 or live on the Alpine Cowboy YouTube channel. Bottom of the first inning, Humberto Vela out on the mound for your Alpine Cowboys. We're looking at his statistic page right now as you watch on YouTube. If you're listening, a 3.69 3.96 ERA. I think I did the exact same thing last time he
Yeah,
started, Rowan.
it's hard to read, but honestly, yeah, I really love the strikeout to walk ratio, 34-18. Again, obviously not what it was last year. He only walked 7 batters last year, but at the same time, I mean, this is still great. I mean, that was just subhuman stuff from Humberto last year.
And when we talk about whip, the whip goes north just from the hits, but still, I think sub 1.5. He's thrown 47 innings, an absolute juggernaut for the Cowboys. As this misses just slow, 1-0 to the leadoff batter for Roswell, Ty Murray. Again, his most recent outing was a loss.
That
It
was 4th
didn't.
of July.
He
Yeah.
didn't get tacked, or the last wasn't tacked onto him as we lost 12-11, giving up the lead late. As this is grounded towards our shortstop, Kyle Rodriguez collects, sends across in time. Ty Murray is retired on the ground out again to Kyle Rodriguez. 2 pitches there for Humberto. Before that, Humberto threw a complete game, 9 innings, 1 earned run in those 9 innings. That earned him the Pecos League Player of the Week award. That
Yeah,
was in front of Andrew Dunn, Rowan,
exactly. And hey, Andrew Dunn's here tonight.
the commissioner of the Pecos League. So hopefully that tells of things to come. Now let's look at this Roswell Invader averages, as you can see them in statistics, as this is grounded a foul ball off the foot of the 2-spot Sloan Laird, another Oklahoma Christian guy out of the Lone Star Conference.
And you called Oklahoma Christian games. Do you remember Ira Clifton and Sloan Laird?
I think I remembered Sloan Laird, but I don't remember Ira Clifton. Just that first game that we called against the Roswell Invaders, I just recognized that Sloan Laird name. I knew he wasn't an Invader from years past. As the 0-1 comes to Sloan, looping off speed, misses up high. Now a 1-1 count.
Yeah, they only have 2 returners from last year's team. They're still here. It's Shane Morrow and one of 2 all-stars for the team, Michael Perez.
Wow. Here's the 1-1
Oh,
pitch. Missing inside, now 2-1 the count. Again, the All-Star game will follow this 3-game series back up where we just came from in Garden City, Kansas. Sloan Laird with a 354 batting average on the year. Ty Murray, the leadoff batter who was retired, had a 331 average. So the batting averages look good for their best guys as this is grounded towards Trevor Tripoli. He will prance across and send across in time, 2 down.
that's an impressive play by Tripoli, making that throw on the run. In a sense, I mean, making that play after what happened in the first inning, that throw from Alonso, which to be fair, I don't blame Alonso too much. That guy isn't an infielder traditionally. He is an outfielder. We've seen him in right field most of the time. But if you look at this Roswell, just this Roswell makeup and lineup overall, he has to play the infield just because of the limited amount of position players they have.
Now the left-hander Najee King. Najee King with a 318 average, 7 home runs, which leads the Invaders. As this misses down low, 1-0 the count.
Yeah, Najee King, the former Lexington legend, also a paramedic. I mean, again, he's definitely a bright spot on this Roswell team. He will be making the trip to Garden City for the All-Star game, his former team.
Now Humberto finds his own first strike, 1-1 the count. Lexington legend, that's the Frontier League, right?
That's Atlantic.
Atlantic League. Wow, that's pretty
Yeah,
high up there.
he was telling me the perks there are unreal.
Yeah. Sign me up, man. I'm just kidding. We got some great perks, some free brisket mac and cheese on 4th of July as the 1-1 comes for a no misses down low. Now a 2-1 count to Najee King. Again, batting third in the order, playing first base, the left-hander against the right-hander Humberto Vea. I'm gonna try it, man.
Try.
I think we say it wrong. Even I know he tells us to say Vela, but I think it's Veta as this is found for a strike on the outside. 2-2 the count.
And that's a common last name
Yeah.
too.
I saw somebody the other day named Humberto when I was watching another sporting event.
Mhm.
As Bert will step off for a moment.
I've also heard that, you know, how we call him Bert or we call him Berto, that's common for people named Humberto.
Okay. Nobody calls him Hum.
I was thinking that too. I'm like, there's no way.
Humberto, the right-hander to Najee King. 2-2 pitch loops away. The off speed misses again. 3-2 the count. Only one base runner on the day was James Prockish in the top of the first. We're in the bottom of the first again with two down. James reached on an error, so nobody with a hit or a walk thus far in the ball game. As the left-hander Najee steps back in, 3-2 pitch. The slurve misses low and inside to Najee, and he walks his way aboard. Couple of two-out base runners for either ball club as the Roswell Invaders in their purple uniforms today. Stepping in the box, not Shane Morrow. He shakes the hand of the umpire.
Yeah, again, Class C. But for Shane Morrow this season, a 283 average hasn't been his best season, especially compared to his numbers last year, where he was honestly, I mean, I'll be completely honest, tearing up this league with a 311 average with 40 RBIs.
As Shane takes this loan away, 1-0. He's got
Uh,
the second most home runs on the team.
yeah, again, but still, Shane Morrow is a very good bat for Roswell. Another bright spot on a 6-31 team.
Absolutely. Here's the pitch from Humberto. Found for a strike on the outside, 1-1. And when we talk about them being 6-31, Rowan, I I don't put a lot of weight on the pitching staff or on the batters. I
Oh,
mean,
of course not.
it's the opposite of what
Uh,
I just said. It's the pitching
again,
staff.
they definitely have a few really good position players.
1-1 grounded through the left side of the infield. Shane Morrow with a single advances Najee King to second base here in the bottom of the first. Roswell with two-out base runners for the 5 spot now, Michael Fisk.
You know what's so weird though? In that kind of 5-6 hole, there's very much a lip right there between the outfield into the infield. Kind
Yeah,
of allows balls to ramp up in a sense.
yeah, it's over there on the right side too. It's almost like the lip we see from the turf infield to the real grass outfield out in Garden City. And remember, we saw a ball ramp up off that lip the other
Yeah,
day.
we did.
Here's the delivery, misses down low, 1-0 the count to Michael Fisk, a 211 batting average on the year for Michael. With 2 home runs, he's had 109 ABs, so regular player for the Roswell Invaders. But again, uh, subpar batting average at 211. Humberto, 1-0, finds the zone on the outside for a strike, now 1-1 to the right fielder.
And also I have Concordia Austin. Isn't that a former Sol Ross opponent at the D3 level?
Exactly. In the American Southwest Conference. That's a private school over in Austin.
He was there in 2023, so that would align with Sol Ross.
Yeah, we have to ask these guys if they played at Coconut. We'll see them one more time at Coconut this year in a 3-game series as this is fouled over the top. 1-2 the count.
And the rest, just Pecos.
Yeah,
Just
really
Pecos.
nobody else.
And nobody else, just Pecos.
This you mentioned this Roswell Invader team is on an 8-game losing streak. They've played some tough opponents over the last 8 games. 3 games against Tucson, 1 game against Pecos, 3 games against the Wind, and before that a few against Blackwell and Trinidad. I think some of those have been called off due to weather as this misses just away. Now a 2-2 count.
Yeah, we had a 2-game set here that was called off because of weather. We didn't even leave Alpine before they said, yeah, field's flooded. Gotta go back.
You guys got on the bus, yeah. And while gassing up, got that word. If you look around the Cowboy defense, again, we talked about it a moment ago. Humberto Vela is on the mound. John Tuttle, his battery partner, as Humberto delivers a looping off speed that misses high. Ball 4. Michael Fisk walks his way aboard. 3 two-out base runners. The bases are loaded in this ball game, tied at 0. Mikey Alonso now, who had the error from second base that allowed James Prockish to get aboard, will step in the batter's box. Mikey Alonso with a 235 average on the year, just 68 plate appearances.
At United International College. What was your bit about United International College?
It sounds like what a royalty-free school that they use in a TV show. If they didn't want to get sued by an actual school, so you make up a name for a school. United International College is a great name for a made-up school, but it's a real one in the New Mexico area.
Yes.
Now at first base for the Cowboys again, Aaron Izquierdo. Second base, Trevor Tripoli. The shortstop, Kyle Rodriguez. James Prockish at third. Sean Becker in left. Brandon Andrews in center. And this is a looping ball headed for our right fielder, a new player for the Cowboys. It's a single, again with the bases loaded. And the Roswell Invaders take a 1-0 lead. Rowan, I don't know where the runner at first went. Did we balk somebody? There's no runner at second base. Again, that was just a single. Only one came in to score. The bases were loaded a moment ago.
They took the walk away. That makes sense.
So they called him out. They called Michael Fisk out somehow.
Yeah, he's still first.
Is that Mikey Alonso at first?
No, Mikey Alonso's in the box.
Oh, I see. He thought he had a walk, but it was just 3 balls, so they sent him back.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, the runner stayed at second and third. I think there was an errant judgment on the ruling there. As this is found for a strike to Alonso. That was Michael Fisk again, who just singled his way aboard and a full count and scored the runner from third base, who advanced to third on the walk that was taken away.
For 4 people to be in this press box and to throw off all 4, it goes to show.
Yeah, as this misses just low. Again, the scoreboard here at Joe Bauman Stadium, we've talked about it before. Hard to see whenever the sun is out. Ioannis Alexandrov is in the hole. No, he's on deck. Again, this is Mikey Alonso.
Chad Baines in the hole, former Bakersfield train robber.
Here's the 2-1. Big swing and miss. Now 2-2 the count for Mikey.
I heard they call him Bone, like Bones, because of his song "Bad to the Bone."
Oh, really? And again, just to mention, the right fielder is a new face, Carson Kirby, out and right from Kennesaw, Georgia. Kennesaw or Woodstock, one of the two.
Yeah, he went to Bruton Parker Christian, an NAIA school.
I still think I have that wrong. It's one of those North Georgia suburbs. It's this misses high, 3-2. Kennesaw, Woodstock. I think it's probably Woodstock.
Again, he went to high school with Khalil Wilson.
Oh, really?
Yeah, still great friends to this day. And now here he is in Alpine, Texas. Khalil recommended him.
Here's the 3-2 pitch to Mikey Alonso. Runner's off and running from first. Mikey swings and belts this ball to the wall in left field. The runner will round around third. Toddy's sending him. Throw to the cutoff man. No, just past Kyle Rodriguez to the shortstop or second baseman Trevor Tripley backing him up. The Cowboys will eat the throw, and the Roswell Invaders lead 3-0 here in the first. Well, that took away any arguments about us saying that the runners advanced on a walk and didn't come back, because that would have scored them regardless. Again, it's 3-0. Roswell and Ioannis Alexandrov out of Sofia, Bulgaria will step in the batter's box.
I mean, again, man, with 2 outs and Roswell to do that, pretty impressive, I will say. Again, this team, even though, I mean, the record states they probably won't be playing postseason baseball, they're not mathematically eliminated, but still, they're probably not going to be in that race. Again, they still have a lot of fight in them.
It's the first pitch misses high to Ioannis. And the thing about it, man, they have a 3-0 lead. We talk about having a limited staff, some limited arms. I think they might throw all they got at us today with an early lead. Hopefully, Ira doesn't go late in the ball game. They'll be hoping the opposite, as this ricochets off of Tuttle, the low pitch to move the count to 2-0 for Ioannis. Again, it ricochets off of Tuttle off to the right side, and Mikey Alonso at second heads over to third base.
Then, Garrett Toddy, their manager, he will be the starting pitcher tomorrow for the Roswell Invaders, because they've ran out of arms.
Interesting, man. He said he hasn't been a pitcher since he was 14 years old. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Ioannis, missing just away. Now 3-0 the count.
Which even through all the struggles, it goes to show that he's still a player's first type of manager. He said, again, this is for my guys. Don't want to burn anybody out.
Here's the 3-0 from Burt. Off-speed finds the zone for a strike, now 3-1. One thing that we saw a moment ago was Toddy sending that run around third. Thought it was a little bit aggressive, but, you like for your third base coach to be aggressive early on in a ball game to test out the arms of the outfielders.
Oh, for sure.
Here's the 3-1 pitch. Off-speed finds the zone for a strike to Ioannis, who took a couple of steps down the first baseline. I thought that was a good call, just above the belt. He said he signaled high to the umpires. He had a word with Eric Brown, the home plate umpire today, again out of Portales, New Mexico. That's home of, I think, Eastern New Mexico. Here's the 3-2 pitch. That's strike three call to end the inning. Roswell knocks on three, though. It's 3-0 Invaders as we head to the second inning of play out here in Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back. This is Alpine Cowboy Baseball. Hey, and we see that comment in chat about the Roswell stream not having video. We told them they're just right across the booth, and they think they got it fixed. Will you guys let us know if it is fixed for them as Ira Clifton warms up on the mound again? He's got a 3-run cushion right now in the second inning out here in Roswell. Probably something they're not super familiar with on an 8-game losing spell. Probably haven't had a lot of leads, Rowan.
Probably not. Last night, coming off a 13-1 loss to Tucson. I know a couple Cowboys are actually at the game watching. I know Caden Knipe was one, but here we go, making his Cowboy debut, his pro baseball debut at Bruton Parker Christian. It's Carson Kirby, the left-handed batter. The first time the Cowboys have had a lefty in the box in over 2 weeks.
Wow, good call there. Again, he steps in wearing number 24. Rowan, who's worn 24 most recently?
Drew Bayard.
Drew
I
Bayard.
don't think anyone's worn it this year.
Drew Bayard now with the Dublin Leprechauns in the Pacific Division of the Pecos League as Carson Kirby takes this one well away. 1-0 the count after the two seam bleeds to the outside.
Because he reached out to Lance Myers after Khalil Wilson gave him the information, and he didn't hear anything for a little bit. But then later on, he got a text from Lance that says, "Hey, could you be here tomorrow?"
Yeah, we were hurting for our outfielders at one point in time. Now we've got a few as there's a swing and a miss. 1-1 the count for Carson Kirby. Ira Clifton delivers. Kirby grounds it towards the shortstop. A rocket headed his way. A couple of bounces under his glove out to shallow center field. Carson Kirby has a leadoff single here in the top of the second as Aaron Izquierdo, the first baseman, will step into the batter's box. As we mentioned, though, if you're new to the team, we've got a couple of new players, so maybe some new listeners. The Cowboys had an outfielder get called up in Xavier Croxton. AJ Folds got injured, our regular center fielder. I feel like we had another outfielder incident. Oh, yeah.
AJ Folds.
The right fielder, day one.
Drake Angeron,
Drake
yes.
Angeron. The swamp assassin broke the single season Cowboy stolen base record last year as Izquierdo grounds this towards the third baseman. Could be two. He checks in at second base, doesn't have the throw there, and sends it across to first in time. Izquierdo hits the deck. Looks like a roly-poly after hitting the bag. He's doing a somersault over there again. It's I don't want to say the word sketchy, but I mean it's kind of a sketchy infield, Roan.
Is it just me, or I thought Bain had time to throw that to second?
Yeah, he hesitated for a moment. He was a little off balance as well, trying to get that ball. It was just inside of the third base bag, but I think you're right, Roan. I think if he really tried to force it over there, he could have. But after the Roswell Invaders had an error in the first, they're holding on to the lead. I think it was a smart play to keep it safe.
Oh, for sure. Now you go to a guy who played right field in the last game against the Garden City Wind for the first time in his life. Now back to his regular position catcher, John Tuttle.
He steps in, the right-hander against the righty. Ira Clifton, delivery to Tuttle, a foul ball sent over here on the first base side. Cowboys in the first base dugout on the real field. Again, it's grass and dirt here. But still, it looks like they haven't gotten their shipment of proper batter's box chalk
Man,
or baseline paint as the 0-1 comes to John Tuttle, and it misses well inside, catching him on the backside as he turns around. And John Tuttle is hit by a pitch. Runners at first and second for the Cowboys, with Humberto Vela stepping into the batter's
I
box.
was also made aware Michael Perez is no longer with the Roswell Invaders.
Wow, the All Star.
And he
So he's
also that's a big loss.
and he won't be going to the All Star game. I mean, obviously not. I
And
wonder if Najee King will go up there himself. Will he ride with us?
who knows, man?
Maybe with you guys. Again, 4 Alpine Cowboys All-Stars, Humberto Vela, one of them in the batter's box right now, the starting pitcher on the day in the 8th spot with runners at first and second, one down, a 3-0 Roswell Invader lead, and Humberto will foul this off. And it heads straight for Trevor Tripoli standing in the on-deck circle.
Hey, he can have my spot in the car.
Yeah. We still no word on how that whole situation is going to go down.
Yeah, we'll see.
The other All-Stars, Gene Reyes, the closer, Parker Wakeman, another starting pitching option, as Humberto swings and misses at the slider away. Again, a breaking ball and a pitcher on pitcher matchup, and the doors are wide open for that on the day. Now, our last All Star is our third baseman on the day, who's been to plenty of All Star games. James Prakash. Humberto chokes up on the bat with 2 strikes and pops this one. Heading for shallow center field. Could get down for a hit, and a nice play made by the shortstop. Looks like a bit of miscommunication between the shortstop and second baseman and Mikey Alonso and Sloan Laird, but eventually Sloan gets on it and makes the basket catch. 2 down with 2 on, and Trevor Tripoli steps in.
Hey, right in the breadbasket. Wasn't pretty, but hey, an out's an out.
Yep, and he holds those runners. Trevor Tripoli out of Hawaii. His dad, when we were in Tucson, got us some Hawaiian chocolate with macadamia nuts as this misses well away, 1-0. It's a righty on righty matchup with Clifton out of Oklahoma Christian. I think their mascot is the Eagles. I could be wrong, Ron. Here's the 1-0. Missing again for a ball. Now 2-0 to the count to Trevor Tripoli, your second baseman on the day.
So we have an Oklahoma Christian Eagle against a Central Washington Wildcat in Tripoli.
Who wins that matchup of the mascots as the 2-0 is grounded foul off of the Cowboy dugout on the third base side. So an Eagle and a Wildcat. That's a tough matchup. It's hard to pick that one, Ron. 2-1 now the count.
I also do see in the Cowboy dugout, AJ Foles is number 64 from last year is now in commission.
Now a swing and a miss, 2-2 the count for Tripoli. Who's got the 64 on?
Oh, that's Maddox, our new relief pitcher.
Hey, and it looks like your video is working now. Yeah. Trevor Tripoli pops this one. It's high and fly on the infield, or really headed into foul territory on the third base side, and lost in the sky with some sun still out. Third baseman Chad Bain not able to make the play, and Tripoli stays alive with the 2-2 count. Again, 2 down, 2 aboard at first and second base for your Cowboys wearing red today. Red jerseys, the gray pants as always on the road with black hats, black accessories. And Trevor Tripoli, the 9 spot in the batter's box, trying to climb back into it for the Cowboys against the starter, Ira Clifton. Slider misses low and away. Now a 3-2 count.
Yeah, the new cowboy out of the bullpen, Maddox Hoagland. Who knows if we see him today, but
Was he the one driving the truck alongside the bus, Rowan?
yeah, because I know Carson Kirby, he actually flew for the first time in his life.
Wow.
So he flew into Garden City, but Maddox drove all the way from Quebec.
Wow. Here's the 3-2 pitch, a swing and a miss. Trevor Tripley is retired on strikes, and so is the Cowboys side as two return from the base pass. Rowan, we could stay right here if you want to.
And just for those of you who are wondering, that's about a 32-hour drive. But Maddox grew up in Michigan, so he drove from Quebec to Michigan, spent some time with family, then went right down the Garden.
And he's got size, man. It's going to be interesting to see if he has the velo that matches the size. Again, maybe 6'3".
Yeah. And guess who also drove from Canada to be here with us in Roswell?
Mateo?
Mateo, because his wife Michaela, her parents have a cottage out in Canada, so they were out there.
Wow. So a couple of Canadian road trips down here to Roswell, New Mexico, and then almost to the Mexico border when we return to Alpine, Texas. Again, you talked about Carson Kirby flying for the first time in his career, Rowan, or in his life.
Yeah,
That's interesting because he lives 60 minutes away from the largest airport in the world.
exactly. At JFK, is that what it is?
No,
No, that's
no.
New York.
It's oh man, I've been there so many times. The Atlanta airport is wow. I should not be drawing a blank
Let's just
here.
call it Atlanta Airport, I guess. Atlanta International. Actually, let's look it up now.
No, dude, you gotta let me get this.
Yeah, I'll let you get this.
Again, my dad is a pilot for Delta, and that was his hub and home base for it's Hartsfield Jackson
Yes.
International Airport, right?
Yep. Hartsfield.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
was his home base, man. I've been to that airport more times than there are pages in this scorebook.
yeah, I mean, in my lifetime, I mean, yeah, I can't count how many times I've been to my local airport, which is just it's lame. It's Indianapolis International.
I've been up there a couple of times.
Oh yeah,
Here's yeah, the cool part about your airport, I would say it's not lame, is there's a tram from the airport to the Mall of America.
I know, I love it.
Yeah. So I got to try out the Wii U whenever it was first getting previewed at the Mall of America
Oh,
and a layover at the airport up there.
so that had to be like 2016, 2017.
You can tell me, man. I don't know. Now stepping into the batter's box, Chad Bain, the 8th spot. Again, Roswell leads 3-0. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Every base runner for Roswell got aboard with 2 outs as Najee King walked his way aboard in the 3 spot. Shane Morrow singled, Michael Fisk singled, and Mikey Alonso hit in the last 2 runs with a 2 RBI single batting in the 6 hole before Ioannis Alexandrov out of Sofia, Bulgaria struck out looking. Now Chad Bain steps in. Where's Bain from?
Bain. All I know is that he went to Bob Jones, a D2 school, and then last year played for the Train Robbers in Bakersfield.
Bob Jones University, as this misses 1-0.
At Division III school. He never batted above 258 in his time there.
The acronym BJU, as this is the 1-0 from Humberto. The BJU graduate grounds it to Kyle Rodriguez. He sends across the diamond in time for the out. 1 down. Now Ira Clifton.
BJU, is that like a popular term for Bob Jones?
Yeah, that's what they go by, Roan.
Really? I did not know that.
That's the that's just the letters. Here's Ira Clifton now stepping in.
Or it could be UBJ.
Yeah.
University of Bob Jones.
I'm not sure.
Or it's probably Bob Jones University.
Here's Ira Clifton. The pitcher takes a strike 0-1. Again, Humberto Vera on the mound. Humberto's got the ice chest on the bus filled with ham and cheese sandwiches. He is in frugal mode at the tail end of the Pecos League season as this finds his own first strike. Him and Marco Martinez.
Clifton is 2 for 15 on the season with the bat.
Okay. Here's the pitch to Clifton. That rounds out to a 133 average as this is chopped foul down the third base line. James had it behind the third base
Let's
bag.
see if you Yeah, it's exactly a 133 average.
You think I did that math in my head?
Oh, I see. I was going to say, like, again, you do the whip in your mind. I thought
That one's a lot easier.
yeah.
2 for 15, that's tough. Now, Ira Clifton, again, an 0-2 count after the foul ball. Humberto pitches, and that's another base hit. Now 3 for 16 is Ira Clifton as he singles his way aboard with one out on the single sent through the left side of the Alpine Cowboy infield. Ty Murray now 0 for 1 in the leadoff spot. We talked about his average earlier. Ty Murray is sporting a 331 average in the leadoff spot. 3 home runs on the year. We don't have on base percentage in this stat line, Ron. You have to go to
expanded batting stats.
How is on base percentage in expanded? How does that make sense?
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Ty Murray, his on base percentage, well, short by on base, 477 on base as this misses down low, 1-0. Najee King, the only regular player with a better on base percentage. Is Amaya and Cagle, are they still with the team?
Cagle is no longer with the team.
And Cagle had a 529 on base percentage, of 448 average as Murray goes around. Now a 1-2 count for Murray in the batter's box. With a 330 average on the year. This one misses low and away. Now a 2-2 count. For the center fielder, Ty Murray. Again, Joe Ballman Stadium is situated on the outskirts of town. On the south end of town, we pass by it every time we come into town. Coming up from Alpine as this is looping out to shallow right field over the head of Tripoli. To right as our new right fielder gets on the ball. Runners at first and second, back-to-back singles for the Roswell Invaders again with one out. I got to get Carson's name down, Rowan. Now stepping into the batter's box, Sloan Laird, the 2 spot.
Again, right now the Cowboys, I feel like this might be a matter of with this Roswell team. This Roswell team, essentially, I feel like you kind of, if you overlook them, it could come back to bite you.
Wow.
That's at least my vantage point.
Great info here. Kirby is from Fayetteville, Georgia, Rowan. As the first pitch comes, that's grounded. Could be 2 to Trevor Tripoli. Over to Kyle Rodriguez. Across in time for the double K double play to end the bottom of the second inning. Again, 3-0 Roswell leads. And we'll be back in a moment. This is Alpine Cowboy Baseball brought to you by KVLF and Big Ben Radio back in Alpine. Wow, so that was Ira Clifton, by the way, who's back out on the mound for the 3rd inning of work, the Oklahoma Christian graduate who's actually from Fayetteville, Georgia. He played, shout out, I think this is probably his dad in chat over here on the YouTube side. He played for the German national baseball team in 2024 and the German national U23 team from 2019 to 2023.
Hey, you gotta love the supportive parents giving us that information. Ira, I will say, and he's proving it so far today, shutting out the Cowboys going into the third inning. This is one of the best arms they have. I'd say him and Philip Sanders are in that conversation for the ace of the staff. But at the same time, you have to realize they don't have a lot of options. That's why manager Garrett Toddy will be on the mound tomorrow.
It, Roan, they're just built differently in the 404. That's how it is. I grew up in
The
Peachtree City,
404
Georgia. Yeah, that's the
area
Georgia
code.
area code. I grew up in Peachtree City though, which is maybe 10 minutes away from Fayetteville. As this is found for a strike. 0-1 the count to Sean Becker, the one spot. The right-hander Becker steps back in as Clifton delivers a strike on the outside. 0-2. Timeout. Becker steps out. Again, Clifton has found the zone early in these at-bats and on the season with a low walk rate. About 39 innings pitched before today started, but given up 50 hits. 55, I think, was the number. So, again, he'll run into some barrel. As the 0-2 comes, Becker lifts this. Looping ball headed for shallow right field, and it's down for a base hit. That's a Texas leaguer if I've ever seen one, Rowan.
And we've seen a couple of those. I don't get why today. It has nothing to do with the field. Why are there so many bloopers coming out today?
Yeah. As Kyle Rodriguez will step in. Cowboys had their leadoff batter in the second in Carson Kirby get aboard via a single. Again, 2 stranded for the Cowboys in that second inning as they trail 3-0 here in the top of the third. And Kyle Rodriguez out of Central Washington steps in. Here's the pitch to the right-hander, swing and a miss on a pitch high and away. 0-1 the count. Rowan, I didn't realize this game stat has batting average versus pitcher.
Ooh,
Sean Becker against Ira Clifton has a 667 batting average.
that's insane.
That's cool. I've never
Yeah,
seen that.
man. Props to point streak.
Yeah. Again, we gave Point Streak a 0-star rating at the beginning of the year. This is fouled off on the right side. I upgraded it to 1 star after I used the app. Rowan, I might give it a star and a half now.
Honestly, the mobile app is still probably a 0, but
Yeah.
desktop might be actually a 3.
Yeah. 3 stars. I could see that. We'll average it to 1.5.
I think this is actually a really cool system for watching along with the game.
And Kyle Rodriguez's batting average against Ira Clifton, as this is fouled back 0-2, is 333. So still the count 0-2. Ioannis got that foul ball tipped off of his mask.
Remember, the Cowboys are only being out hit 4-2, but it's the free passes in the first inning that gave Roswell the opportunity.
Rare free passes given up from Humberto, who's thrown around 50 innings as Kyle Rodriguez swings and misses. He struck out twice. Now James Procish. Yeah, coming in today, I think the number was 18 walks in 50 some odd innings for Humberto.
Also, I mean, Humberto, he's gotten way more innings, way more reps this year compared to last.
Really? This is found for a strike. 0-1 the count to James Procish.
Yeah, because last year he had 7 starts, and I think he actually just surpassed that mark. Because again, last year, the Cowboys had a much bigger rotation. I think it was a 6-man rotation.
As Procish fouls this one over the top. What are we sitting at? Five
5
right
But
now?
also there were a lot more off days. Wow.
There's more off days last year, right?
Yeah, a lot more off days last year.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we didn't have an off day throughout the month of June, it felt like.
Yeah.
As James Procish is down 0-2 after fouling that one off the roof of the press box.
July, though, I feel like we had a bit more.
Here's the 0-2. Well, yeah, we do. James Procish lifts this one. Another looper and another blooper down for a base hit. Becker stops at second base, 1 down. James Procish with the single. And Brandon Andrews, who can run into a baseball, that exit velo for the monster bat in Andrews is I mean, probably the highest average when he gets a hold of one on the team, and he represents the tying run in the batter's box, trailing 3-0.
When he gets a hold of one, he sends it a long ways.
That's our favorite broadcaster, the Oakland Athletics, right?
Yeah, yeah,
What's
yeah.
her name?
Jenny Kavner. Actually, I actually think she's brilliant, honestly.
1-0. Yeah, I've only seen those clips off of YouTube, so I couldn't
Her her her
judge her on her repertoire.
her call, look up her call of the last out of the final Oakland A's home game. It was really good.
1-0, misses up high, 2-0.
I like how she emphasized the Oakland Athletics.
Yeah, where'd they move?
Right now Sacramento, but they're going to move to Las Vegas.
Another Las Vegas move. Here's the 2-0. This just misses well away. 3-0 the count to Andrews. Now in a hitter's count with one down. Carson Kirby on deck is 1-for-1 in a Cowboy uniform. The Las Vegas Raiders now just recently moved. As this misses inside, ball 4 loads the bases up for the Cowboys. The Cowboys had a kid from right down the street from Fayetteville and Peachtree City last year in Jonathan Fleckenstein. He's from Noonan, Georgia. So it's a baseball hotbed in the Atlanta area, Rowan,
It
as
really is.
an Atlanta kid, Carson Kirby, steps into the batter's box. Good chance these guys have seen each other at some point in their careers, as this is fouled off on the left side. They both graduated from college this year as well, as the count moves to 0-1 for Kirby.
Yeah, Carson already. I mean, what I've seen from him in the first few days, he's only been here 2 days, but he's already gelled with everybody so well. For a lot of rookies, that takes a lot of time. But Kirby, even with the vets, he's already gelled.
0-1, grounded. Najee King with a nice grab as he'll flip to the pitcher covering. No, he'll step on the first base bag himself. Each runner advances again with the bases loaded. One comes in to score on the fielder's choice off the bat of Carson Kirby. So an effective at bat as Aaron Izquierdo will step in 0-for-1, but 2 in scoring position. Now the tying run represented in scoring position and Brandon Andrews and James Procish over at third.
Hey, for the Cowboys to get their first run like that, again, baby steps at the end of the day. Looks like we're going to have a good one on our hands.
Ira Clifton now, the kick and pitch. Sinks just low, 1-0.
And this is a Roswell team that you may look at the record, you may judge them off of that, which I get. But at the same time, they're a gritty group of guys. They took Tucson to extra innings not too long ago.
1-0, finds his own first strike now, 1-1. Really?
Yes. And we all know Tucson, they're a team that will more than likely they're on pace to win the Mountain South Division.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. A swing and a miss by Aaron Izquierdo. Hey, we talked about this just a moment ago before the game. You and I talked about it, but Pecos and Tucson are not done playing each other.
No, they've got a 3-game series starting tonight at Keno Veterans Memorial Stadium in Tucson.
As the 1-1 or 1-2 comes, Aaron fans as he swings at a pitch low wind away, retired on strikes.
But I do want to emphasize, though, if Tucson sweeps Pecos, Cowboys sweep Roswell, Alpine will have surpassed the Bills in the standings.
But I mean, with 6 games remaining between the Pecos Bills and the Tucson Saguaros, and us with so many games remaining against Tucson, or I'm sorry, against Pecos, we don't really know what we want, because
Exactly.
there's a chance. Let's say Pecos goes in 6-0, which we don't think is likely against the Tucson Saguaros. But if the Pecos Bills do that, then we could be sitting there thinking, man, if we win out against Pecos, we could find our way back to first place in the Mountain South Division and host all the way through, especially if Garden City somehow gets knocked out.
Because I remember we were about 4 games back at Tucson at this point. I was driving by a game. It was actually Pecos and Tucson at Pecos. I was driving by, and I saw the game was going on, and I'm like, man, I don't know who I want to win. Is it possible for neither of them to win?
Yeah, it is possible, Rowan. We saw it when we went to Tucson, didn't we?
Exactly.
When we tied, when the sprinklers magically cut on at 11 o'clock flat. And Rowan, I had some more conversations. I may have roomed with a couple of former Tucson Saguaros, and they told me the Keno staff knows when those sprinklers are cutting on.
Ooh.
As We're headed again to the bottom of the third. Cowboys score their first run of the ball game in the top of the third. 3-1, the Cowboys lead. We'll send it to a quick ad break, not for long. We'll be back in a moment. Najee King, the 3 spot here. Left-hander against Humberto Vela. Humberto delivers. Off-speed pitch misses just high. 1-0. Another thing we need to talk about, Rowan, when we talk about the uncharacteristic, just one walk from Humberto as the other walk was called back, is this mound plays awfully funky in Roswell. It's just misses just inside 2-0.
You have to be a real athlete to pitch here, and by that I mean to pitch well, just because of how high up it is. Again, Humberto Vela, I would say he is an athlete, so it works out well for him.
Here's the 2-0. Misses low and inside on the curveball. Now a 3-0 count. Yeah, we likened it to I guess I likened it to Mount Fuji last time. I guess we're pretty far away from that mountain range. I guess the Guadalupe would be a closer comparison. Again, it's probably 16 inches high when the standard mound is about 12 as the 3-0 comes and finds his own first strike to Najee, now 3-1.
Hey, those 4 inches make a big difference too. They really
Absolutely.
do.
You know, we talk about the dead ball era at times. You know, they lowered the mound in order to combat the dead ball era and get more offense in major leagues. As this is found for strike 3-2, it used to be about 16 inches high before they moved it down to the 12 standard today.
I wonder if the KBO will do something like that because the KBO is going through a really bad dead ball era right now. That's out in Japan.
Other things that they did in the major leagues is they grew, they shrunk the strike zone. As Humberto Velo frees up Najee King for strike 3. The backwards K sits down the 3 spot in the first batter here in the bottom of the third. What else could they do, Rowan? They could give him cricket bats,
Oh,
big old bats. Maybe allow them to use metal bats. They do use wood bats, right, in the Japanese league.
yes, they do.
Shane Morrow again is 1 for 1 in the game. This is the part of the order that did the damage for the Roswell Invaders when they scored 3 runs in the first. As this misses low and away, 1-0. Morrow, Fisk, and Alonso all singled after Najee walked his way aboard, with Fisk and Alonso on deck and in the hole, getting an RBI, then 2, respectively, as this is fouled off on the right side. Now 1-1 for Vela. Morrow was over talking to the Cowboy team before the game, Rowan. You spoke with him as well, right?
Oh, yes, I did speak with Shane Morrow a little bit.
Curveball finds his own first strike, 1-2.
He's not happy about the state of the Roswell Invaders, but at the same time, he knows that he has to play. He has to play for his guys. That's just kind of what it comes down to. You're playing for more than just yourself. You're playing for your team as well. I respect that.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Missing just away. Now 2-2 the count. You know, Rowan, we saw it last year. Winning solves everything.
It
When
really does.
when you're winning a lot, the culture is great. And when you're losing, it gets tough in the clubhouse, and it gets tough to stick with the roster and a team. As right now, by the way, our center fielder Brandon Andrews is shifted about as far as I've seen a center fielder shifted off to the left side, expecting a pull from Mora. As this misses high and away, now a 3-2 count.
He's basically in left field at this point.
Yeah, I think Becker is shifted a little bit towards left as well. a little bit towards that third baseline. But yeah, it's been a tough year for the Invaders. 6 and
31.
31. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Morrow lays off the off speed that misses low, and he walks his way aboard with 1 out. We had this conversation with Andrew Dunn, who again is here today, the league commissioner and owner of every team in the Pecos League outside of the Cowboys. But Andrew mentioned the Pecos Bills having a lot of success this year, and they're kind of getting the type of guys that would normally end up in Roswell due to the living situation and kind of the oil money backing the Pecos Bill program.
Yes, and not only that too, but a lot of guys who were on the Pecos Bills last year. Remember, that was not a good team. They're on the Roswell Invaders this year, including Bilal Whittle.
Really. Here's the first pitch to the right-hander for a strike. This is Michael Fisk down 0-1.
If you remember Whittle, he was an outfielder. He joined Pecos towards the end of last year.
In the 0-1 count for Fisk. Ron, I'm not as good at remembering those things. Fisk fouls it straight back 0-2. But that goes down to kind of recruiting in the Pecos League and which teams find success. It's really about the GMs and what kind of situation they set up for the guys to live in.
Oh yeah, and again, it's hard to compete with Pecos when it comes to the living situations. They stay at that camp where they get really free food whenever they want, and it's like really well-made steaks.
The only two programs that probably have a better situation, or I know the Cowboys do, as well as the Garden City Wind, as this misses down low, 1-2 the count.
Do they pay the players in Pecos?
I'm not sure about that one.
Because if they do, I mean, maybe that's up there. But Garden has a bus, but all the money that they would usually spend to pay players goes to the bus.
And the only two teams in the league with the bus are the Alpine Cowboys and the Garden City Wind. The only team that pays their players and has a bus is your Alpine Cowboys. As this misses low and away, 2-2.
It's hard to out negotiate Alpine. I remember Tyler Young when he was negotiating. Pecos reached out and they said, "There's really only one other team that has a better situation. They're the one that has a bus and all that." And he said, "Oh, by the way, I'm talking to that team right now."
And that's your Alpine Cowboys. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Burt, who was a Roswell Invader, but again, sought greener pastures as this misses low and away, 3-2. Well, not greener pastures literally, as we are in the middle of the Chihuahuan Desert out in Alpine, but greener pastures figuratively.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, he even asked some of his former teammates just because of the rivalry. He's like, "Would you hate me if I went to Alpine?" And they just said, "No."
Yeah. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Curveball sent looping out to shallow center field at the warning track, actually. Diving grab not made by Brandon Andrews. Runners advancing, coming around third and scoring is Shane Morrow. And Michael Fisk round second and heads for third. Wow, I thought it was looping for shallow center. Again, it got all the way to the warning track in right field. Andrews diving after it. It ricocheted off the wall. Cowboys recollected, but an RBI triple for Michael Fisk. He has 2 RBIs in the ball game, and the Roswell Invaders lead by 3 again, 4-1 our score.
You know, it's so unfortunate. Brandon Andrews was almost there, but he was playing so off to the left, and that just went right in the right center. That was a really good spot that Shane Morrow put that, or for Michael Fisk, I should say. It's a really good place that Michael Fisk put that in order to get that as a base hit.
As Mikey Alonso will step into the batter's box. But not after a mound visit. Jesus Rosario coming out for your Alpine Cowboys. The pitching coach having a conversation with the infield and Burt. Really just talking about, and we talked about this with Dietrich when we were in Garden City, most of the time it's not a strategic thing. Sometimes, rarely it is, but most of the time you're just talking about how a guy's feeling and where he's struggling and kind of what's gone wrong, honestly.
Yeah, I've also heard, I mean, like, not from a manager, but from a catcher, like, whenever you see a catcher have a quick meeting with a pitcher, they'll do whatever it takes to calm down a pitcher. Like, there'll be times where they'll even go up to a pitcher and be like, "Hey, what do you want to get for dinner after the game?"
Yeah.
You know, do whatever it takes to kind of soothe their mind.
Yeah, and that just comes to knowing your guys and reading the room, having a good feel for what makes a guy feel good, Rowan, because let me tell you, Brendan Conal and Humberto Vela probably have very different strategies on how you make those guys feel better on the mound.
Exactly.
As Bert steps back on. Again, facing off against Mikey Alonso, who has 2 RBIs in the ball game. Fisk and Alonso have all the RBIs for the Invaders. as Alonso takes the strike on the outside 0-1 to the undersized number 27. We've seen a lot of short second baseman in the Pecos League, Rowan.
Yeah, I mean, I remember also earlier in the year, Eddie Navarro, a guy that they moved around the infield. He was kind of like that.
0-1 smacked up the middle, and Alonso has an RBI. His third of the ball game, as it was sent through between our shortstop and second baseman to the left side of the second base bag. As Ioannis Alexandrov, who struck out looking last time around, will step in. Roswell now leading 5-1. I think, Rowan, at this point, how deep Ira Clifton can go into the game is going to be a really pivotal on who wins today's game.
Yes.
Again, the Cowboys 6-0 against the Invaders, as this is a foul ball chopped high into the air down the third baseline. James Prakash collected, sent across the diamond, but ruled foul. 0-1 to Ioannis. Yeah. And we confirmed Ioannis is really close to that Greek border.
Yeah, as Sofia, Bulgaria. Yes.
Yeah.
He has. Yeah, I guess what was it, Barry? You went and talked to him.
Yeah. Barry has Greek heritage and had to talk to him about it. And I guess they had a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Barry, our ball boy back in Alpine, as Ioannis sends another ball foul down the third base line. 0-2 the count to the right-handed catcher. I guess that's assumed. Ioannis has a 2.72 average on the year, 4 RBIs. Is that right? This misses inside 1-2.
Yes, that would be correct.
Man. 4 RBIs and 77 at bats. He's probably had more ABs, including walks and HBPs. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Alexandrovs lists this to center field. Andrews ranging over, has the grab in the out. This time shifted over to the left side. Plays a nice roll for Brandon out in center as Chad Bain steps in. He's 0-1 in the game.
Yeah, they call him Bones, bad to the bone, because of this song that he comes out to. The former Bakersfield train robber. Again, being a part of a really good team, a really good culture last season, a Bakersfield team that I thought could have made it to the title game, but falling short to San Rafael.
He swings at the first pitch. High fly ball headed for Andrews out in center field, and he has the grab in the out. That ends the bottom of the third. Again, Roswell tacks on 2 more, up 5-1. Out here in New Mexico. We'll be back in a moment. I'm Ryan Weil, joined by Ramblin' Rowan here on the radio.
Oh, no.
We're back here as your Alpine Cowboys are trailing 5-1 against the Roswell Invaders. John Tuttle steps in the batter's box. John Tuttle was hit by a pitch last time around. A Roswell Invader legend. They had John Tuttle night in the past, Rowan.
Because that was for every member of the 2022 championship team. So they had Jack McNellis night, Jonathan Fleckenstein night.
As Tuttle goes around on a pitch in the dirt, 0-1. That 2022 championship team, the skipper, wearing red today, Lance Myers on the third base side, coaching third base right now, the skipper of your Alpine Cowboys.
Yeah, it was also a third baseman for the team. Yeah, player manager did a great job on both ends.
0-1 misses high, now 1-1 the count to Tuttle.
I mean, when you're an all-star level player and an all-star level manager, it's hard to beat.
Yeah, and we talk about the story that Roswell Invader team with 16 guys
Yes.
on the postseason roster and able to make it all the way through, winning the championship. John Tuttle now lifts this one out to shallow left field, down for a base hit. Tuttle has gotten aboard in both of his ABs today, batting in the 7 hole. Now Humberto.
Oh yeah, John Tuttle. I mean, again, his mother or his I should say his girlfriend in the crowd. His new daughter also in the crowd as well. So
Really? Is she sporting earplugs?
I think because I know
You don't quite need earplugs out here.
no, not quite.
Now Humberto steps in.
I need him.
Yeah.
Just being in this booth.
Here's the pitch to Humberto. He's bunting on the left side. The sack bunt as the third baseman attacks, sends to first base in time. Najee King with a nice play to make that grab. Again, that one was over to the right side of the first base bag as Najee was set up on the left side on the interior, and he was able to stretch his glove over the head of Humberto to make the grab in the out. One down, but again, the Cowboys do what they needed there. The sack bunt moves Tuttle into scoring position in the 9 spot. Trevor Tripoli stepping in. John Tuttle's batting average versus Ira is 1,000.
Maybe that was that. Maybe that may have been the first at bat too.
Well, it said that before he
Oh, it
got the
did.
hit.
Okay.
So, as this misses low and away, 1-0.
Because I know Clifton has pitched in Alpine once,
Okay.
but obviously they've played more times here than they've played at Alpine.
Okay. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Tripoli lays off the slider low and away, 2-0. Rowan, we have heard that the slider is hard to judge here with the lighting and the depth perception out at Roswell. So this is fouled off, 2-1.
Yeah, that's why I was saying again. If you see a slider, I mean, it's not quite dark yet, but like once you see a slider, yeah, you really can't see it until it's right at you, and at that point, it's too late.
Here's the 2-1 pitch to Chipotle. He lays off a strike on the outside. Now 2-2.
Chipotle, man, which I won't have until I go home because none of the places we go to have a Chipotle.
Yeah. Hey, unless we go on that postseason run, end up back in Tucson. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Trevor swings and misses. I'm sorry, that was the 2-2, a swing and a miss, and he's retired on strikes. Both of our Central Washington middle infielders are 0 for 2 with 2 Ks today as Sean Becker steps in. He's 1 for 2. We're back in Roswell, back at that Airbnb with about 40 twin-size bed mattresses that we spray out all across the 2-story Airbnb in downtown, I guess in the historic district of Roswell, as this is found for a strike on the outside, 0-1.
I think we can tell this story. I don't think we'll get in trouble. And if we do, I don't really care. No, so we got double booked last time. We showed up, all the Tucson Saguaros, all their stuff was there because they were playing a game right here last night. So we had to go to a different motel because of that.
And we didn't realize it until the entire team had filed into the Airbnb. And when we were like, wait, why is there stuff in these rooms? And I still think we should have stayed there with the Saguaros last night.
Jan Rivera was in our room.
Yeah. And the room that you and I stay in. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Becker sends this high fly into foul territory on the first base side, and it sails out of play. Now 0-2 the count.
Which is funny because Caden Knipe, a relief pitcher for the Cowboys, he's cousins with second baseman for Tucson, Hayden Leopold.
Really?
Yeah, so they reunited last night because Knipe went to the game last night, so they reunited.
As the 0-2 comes. There's a lot of relationships there. We have a couple of former Tucson Saguaros, as I think did Ioannis call for that timeout? It looked like he pointed at Ioannis.
I guess so.
Count stays at 0-2. Again, a runner in scoring position as the Cowboys trail 5-1 in the top of the fourth. 2 outs, and Becker smacks this off of Ira Clifton. Ricochets over to the third baseman. Lance is going to send Tuttle. No, gets the stop sign late. Again, that ricocheted off the pitcher Clifton on the hard ground ball up the middle over towards the third baseman out back behind him on the edge of the infield, but the third baseman was able to get on his horse in Michael Fisk and get to the area in time, as Lance had to give Tuttle the stop sign. But now runners at the corners for Kyle Rodriguez.
You obviously hope everything's all right with Ira Clifton, too. Taking a liner off of the shin is never a great feeling.
First pitch to K-Rod is away for a ball, 1-0. Clifton had to shrug off that ball call, and I think he's right, Ron. I thought that looked strike-ish to me. Here's the 1-0 pitch. 2-0 the count. I talked to this umpire before the game as well. Like I said, it's Eric Brown out of Portales. He'll switch with Keith Dunlop out of Roswell for tomorrow's game. And I told him, hey, man, we're going to talk about the zone. You might be able to hear us, but don't take it personally.
And he was like, and he was leaning into it.
2-0. Kyle Rodriguez lifts the ball to center field, and it should get grabbed. And it does, as the Cowboys strand 2 in the top of the fourth. We're trailing 5-1 against the Roswell Invaders, who we are 6-0 against on the season to this point. We'll be back in a moment here from Big Bend Radio or on the Alpine Cowboy YouTube channel. Brand new, the YouTube channel. Try and subscribe and find the link if you can. We're back here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Humberto still on the mound for your Cowboys. In red out here in Roswell, New Mexico. His battery partner, John Tuttle, in red as well. Of course, Jake Sisto was out there catching as John Tuttle was on the base pass at the tail end of that fourth inning. Sisto, the Italian stallion, a catching option we'll probably see later in this series, probably tomorrow, as batting for the Roswell Invaders is Ira Clifton, the 9 spot. 1-for-1, the pitcher on the day, out of Fayetteville, Georgia. Ira stepping in. It's that righty on righty matchup. As Burt delivers, this is fouled off down the third baseline. 0-1. Brad Burdette coming out of the dugout to pick it up. Rowan, the first time we were here in Roswell this year, it was about 80 degrees.
Yeah, it was nice and chilly.
As this misses high and away, 1-1. I mean, it's normally 90-ish to 100 every time we're here. We were thinking our lucky stars that weekend. As Ira swings and misses 1-2. No AC in the press box. We don't have AC back in Alpine.
That's why you have all these flies.
The flies have been falling around the team, man. They're on the bus
Yeah.
too right now. 1-2. A swing and a miss. Ira Clifton retired on strikes in the 9-hole. 1 down. Here in the bottom of the fourth inning, Ty Murray now the leadoff batter stepping in.
I will say though, just looking in the Cowboy dugout, it's just so awesome having Mateo Avalone back. I mean, just looking over in the dugout, just seeing him there, it's such a welcome sight.
He was the one that we were previewing. We were given
Yes.
hints upon hints of who the new Cowboy may be, and it was Mateo Avalone who has joined the team from last year's team. As this is found for strike 0-1. Hey, if you want to learn a bit about Mateo, listen to Cowboy Up, the podcast. We've got a podcast up already with Mateo from last year.
That was before Mateo became the postseason hero we all know and love. He batted .483 last season in the playoffs.
As this misses high and away, 1-1. And we needed it too. I mean, he had a walk-off hit against the Tucson Saguaros.
Yeah, they ended up giving postseason MVP to Drake Angeron.
As this is smacked towards center field, Brandon Andrews scoots up, makes the grab in the out. Nice jump for our center fielder as there's 2 down here in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, but also at the same time, I feel like they should have done a postseason MVP. I feel like Mateo Avalone should have definitely been recognized.
Hey, we can always award a Big Ben Radio postseason MVP.
It was okay, Mateo.
Here's the first pitch to the left-hander Sloan Laird. He takes it on the inside, now 1-0. Again, Laird is 0 for 2 on the day. Oklahoma Christian graduate out the Lone Star Conference. I think there's a third Oklahoma Christian guy on the team, right? As this finds his own first strike, 1-1.
Hey, they got Laird, Ira Clifton.
Could be wrong about the third.
Yeah, I don't think there's a third. Looking in the Cowboy bullpen, Jesse Garcia getting some reps.
As the 1-1 comes, grounded on the first base side. Aaron Izquierdo grabs it, steps on first base, and 3 up, 3 down here in the bottom of the fourth. Jesse Garcia has had some long relief outings for Alpine on the year.
And then we may see another one coming soon. But again, that was a really good bounce back for Humberto.
We'll be back in a moment. 5-1, the Invaders lead. We're headed to the fifth. Ira Clifton out here for the top of the fifth. Again, Cowboys trailing 5-1 on the road against the Invaders. Ron, this feels like one we can't afford to drop.
No, you really can't. Eh, I wouldn't call it a layup either. Again, it's just a matchup you should win, honestly. And the fact that the Cowboys so far aren't, it's a little disappointing if you're a Cowboy fan, but still plenty of time.
Yeah, maybe not a layup, but maybe a 6-footer, a 6-foot jump shot.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Here's the right-hander James Prakash stepping in. 2 productive ABs reaching via the air and a single today as he takes the first pitch down low for a ball. 1-0.
But the Cowboy offense, just for them, they don't see high numbers from them, especially in the last 2 series, honestly. I would say Garden City, the fact that we won those 2 games, I credit the pitching first off.
1-0. Clifton hits the deck, slipping on this mound.
Exactly. That's exactly what I mean. You gotta be very athletic as a pitcher, which again Clifton is. It happens to the best of us, or else you're gonna hit the deck.
As this misses well inside. Uh, both this field and Santa Fe, probably the 2 worst playing surfaces on the infield in the Pecos League, and we've seen guys get hurt out here.
Yeah, because we were pranking some of the rookies.
It's the 2-0 misses high 3-0. You and I were?
Oh no, I meant me and a couple other guys. We were saying, yeah, we're going to one of the nicest fields, the nicest playing surfaces, and they were like all really excited.
Really? Yeah, some of the guys who have just joined the team. 3-0, two-seam dots up the outside. Now a 3-1 count for James Prakash. That's funny, man. The nicest playing surface. 3-1 the pitch. Down low, ball 4. James Prakash has gotten aboard in all 3 ABs today. Now Brandon Andrews. He's 0 for 1 with a walk.
I tried to like play it off too. I said, obviously it's no Coke or not, but
Yeah.
it's still very nice, and you're going to love it.
And you guys never spilled the beans?
uh,
Did they really roll up today thinking, man, we're about to play
well, like right as we were pulling up, Sean Becker said, "Oh no!" I'm like, "No, no, 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 no. You're blowing the cover."
Here's the delivery to Andrews, low and away, 1-0 the count. Andrews was an assistant coach at forgetting the name of the school, John Melvin.
Yeah, John Melvin Christian.
1-0, finds his own first strike, 1-1, along with Josh Rago and Drake Andron. Drake Andron was the right fielder who we talked about earlier, who was hurt after 1 game this year, was our Big Ben Radio MVP of the Alpine Cowboys last year. And like you said, the postseason MVP is Brandon Andrews swings and misses 1-2. Josh Rago was just called up to the Glacier Range Riders.
Yes.
Yesterday started for the Range Riders for his first time, went 1 for 3 with a walk, so had a productive outing and a 3-2 Range Rider win over the Billings Mustangs up in the Frontier League.
Pioneer.
Those 2 run together for me, Rowan. A swing and a miss for Andrews. Chases that slider low and away.
Now, if you were to tell me before the season that 3 John Melvin guys on that staff would be on the Cowboys and Andrews would be the last one left, I would absolutely believe you, just because, Andrews is a nice young talent that I feel like has a lot of staying power. Not in this league. I think he has the talent to go to a higher league, but I feel like he's a great mold and fit for this team. Meanwhile, Rago and Andron were guys that I felt like were just waiting to get called up. Tragically for Andron, that wasn't the case.
Carson Kirby rips the first pitch foul down the first base line. 0-1. Hey, and the other Cowboy that was called up, well, a pair of them, Xavier Croxton and Tyler Young. How have those 2 been doing?
Tyler Young, he actually got his first start the other night. Went 3 for 4.
Wow.
For the Washington Wild Things in the Frontier League. Xavier Croxton's batting .420.
Wow.
They're both doing great.
And Taylor Darden up there at the Boise Hawks with Croxton is doing really well as well. So this is found for a strike 0-2. Kirby, though, 1 for 2 in today's game, had the RBI on the fielder's choice in his second at bat. So the lone RBI in the ball game for the new Cowboy, again down 0-2. But those Cowboys succeeding at the next level are going to open doors for the guys still at the program today, as the 0-2 misses well away, now 1-2.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it kind of builds not only a pipeline, which we already have with Boise and a lot of other teams, but also just knowing the Cowboys, they breed success.
Yeah, I agree. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Carson takes it up high, now 2-2.
And I don't think there are many other teams in this league that get the call ups that we do.
I don't think there's any, yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't heard of anybody get more than one call up this year.
yeah, because again, Lance Myers has so many connections and he's so willing to get guys moved up. He's reaching out, players are reaching out.
2-0, smacked over on the right side to the second baseman. He sends it to first as Prakish had a lead off that first base bag. Not in time, though, for the double play. Again, Kirby lined out, and Aaron Izquierdo will step in. Another thing we've seen we've seen 5 call-ups in the middle of the season in our 2 years with the Cowboys. 4 of those have been position players. 1 was a pitcher. That was last year in Kyle Petrie.
At Tommy Kretzler, who was one of the call-ups last year, Frontier League All-Star this season.
And we talk about those are just the call-ups from within the season. During the offseason,
Many more.
we had numerous call-ups. We have guys playing all over the place right now. As Aaron Izquierdo steps in, he's 0 for 2. Grounds this on the left side. Third baseman bobbles it, picks it up off the ground, and Izquierdo racing for the first base bag. Doesn't get there in time. James Prakish stranded at second. We're headed to the bottom of the 5th. Cowboys trailing 5-1. We'll be back in a moment.
Bottom of the 5th inning, the Alpine Cowboys trailing 5-1 to the Roswell Invaders. I'm Rowan Elbert, joined by Ryan Weil. Humberto Vela still working for the Cowboys on the bump. He's given up 6 hits on the day. He's deferred 2 free passes on the walks. He'll have 3, 4, and 5 to face, starting with the lefty Najee King. Ryan, what does Humberto Vela need to do to keep the Cowboys in this game, trailing by 4?
Yeah, I mean, just can't get discouraged on how his outing has started, giving up 5 runs against the Roswell Invaders, who have had a bad record on the year, and just have to, I mean, do what he can to keep them close. But Humberto's a pretty stoic guy, man. He doesn't let too much get to him.
You're absolutely right. Now you go to the left-handed batter. You go to Najee King for the Roswell Invaders. Najee so far this season, he's played in 30 out of a possible 37 games for Roswell this year, mainly because of a injury to his right knee. He took a foul ball there, missed some time, but now he's back. First pitch goes curveball, finds the top half of the zone, 0-1 to Najee King. King, formerly with the Garden City Wind. He'll, I guess, return home this Sunday for the All-Star game. 0-1. That time, another breaking ball. It misses at the feet to King. 1-1.
Hey, Rowan, I guess we can talk about now. There were rumors of a trade for Najee King as we were trying to find a first baseman, but with Mateo heading to the program, we're not going to do it.
1-1 elevated in the shallow left center field. A blooper. Andrews dives. Does he make the grab? Yes, sir. Brandon Andrews, what a catch for the first out in the bottom of the fifth. Which, again, that's just pure speculation, but very well could be the case. I never got that confirmed, though. I don't know if that really did happen or not. But Shane Morrow steps into the box, left fielder, right-handed batter, so it's righty on righty. Again, the Cowboys, hey, do you really need a first baseman when you got Aaron Izquierdo, who's looked really good at the position, Mateo Avalone back in the picture? First pitch, it's a curveball down Broadway, 0-1. With one gone, nobody on base in the bottom of the fifth, a 5-1 Roswell lead.
Yeah, but Aaron's natural position is a catcher, man. He has been good, but he's a great catcher.
Yes. 0-1, swing and a miss downstairs. Another curveball looping. 0-2 now to Shane Morrow. Was with Roswell last season. Back this year, their only returner other than Michael Perez, who's no longer with the team. So I guess they do have one returner. The 0-2 with one gone. The delivery. Another breaking ball misses downstairs. But you're absolutely right about Aaron Izquierdo. And I think having Mateo Avalone back with the team opens that up, the opportunity for him to go back to the catching position.
And that just goes to show, man, there's trade talks amongst all these teams.
Really?
You can trade.
1-2, swing and a miss in the dirt. The curveball downstairs retires Shane Morrow for the second out. 2 up, 2 down for the Cowboys in the bottom of the fifth.
Guys get traded from Pecos League rosters to other Pecos League rosters based on needs, based on equipment needs as well. As sometimes when we hear trade rumors, we hear a bucket of baseballs or a couple of bats involved in that trade.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, you can get traded for just about anything. I know in the NBA, Kyle Korver, a guy who ended up having a legendary career, was an all-star. On draft night, he got traded for money, which was spent on a copying machine. Righty on righty, a chopper third base side by Michael Fisk. Fouled off on the left side. But, and again, he went on to have a great career. I thought that was just so funny growing up, but that's the reality of indie ball now. You hear these trade talks, and it's like, I want 2 buckets of baseballs, and they're actually quite useful.
Yeah. There was rumors about our golf cart being traded last year.
No. 0-1, a big hack up top. 0-2, Berto going to his breaking stuff quite frequently in this inning.
It's interesting, though. Michael Fisk, 211 batting average on the year, but 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs on the day, including a triple.
Yeah, again, 2 extra base. Yeah, I mean, a single and then a triple. 0-2. Right side and foul. Aaron Izquierdo's under at the first baseman. He makes the grab for the third out. How about that for the first baseman, Aaron Izquierdo, to send us to the top of the 6th inning? Cowboys, they trail 5-1. Top of the 6th inning, Cowboys, they trail 5-1 to the Roswell Invaders here in beautiful Roswell, New Mexico. Mostly sunny skies, quite a bit of cloud coverage, wind blowing off on the left side. Ira Clifton's back out there for what will go down as the 6th inning of work. Has had a very stellar outing for the Roswell Invaders out of Fayetteville, Georgia. Entered this game with a 6.9 ERA, but at this point, again, if his outing only went to 6 innings, it would definitely be under that 6.9 mark.
And we've seen guys with ERAs north of 6.9 come out here and give the Cowboys a hard time. Who is that Pecos Bill, their lone returner?
Oh, their lone returner with Phillip Jones.
Yeah, Phillip Jones had about a 9 ERA when he came out and shoved against us.
Now, John Tuttle, right-handed batter, former Invader, steps in the box. It was an HBP and a single that has gotten him aboard today. Right-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. Clifton, the pitch. Goes with a slider down Broadway for a strike, 0-1. To start on John Tuttle with his girlfriend and his new daughter in the crowd. His daughter born just about 3 weeks ago. Tuttle took a quick paternity leave. Now he's back with the Cowboys. He's been back for a couple of weeks now. Clifton getting his signs from Alexandro. The kick and pitch. That's another breaking ball. Loops in for a strike on the inside, 0-2.
Yeah, and the cool part about his paternity leave with him living in Roswell is that when we came to Roswell, New Mexico to play some games, he just came to the ballpark and played for us, suited up.
I was like, oh, wow, it's JT.
Yeah, JT, not just it's JT, it's JT in uniform, ready to catch for
Yeah.
us.
It was like today, oh, wow, it's Mateo.
Yeah.
0-2. He swings and misses. Ira Clifton so far gets a 1-2-3 on the pitches to retire John Tuttle on strikes. He's immaculate to start off this 6th inning.
And Rowan, we were talking about it in between innings. We really need to just chase Ira out of this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Because again, you don't know what this Roswell bullpen really has. They have a very limited amount of arms. Humberto Vela chops it up the middle, collected by the shortstop Laird on the run in the infield, makes the play over on the first base side to get the second out. He was on the infield grass, able to get it done. 2 up, 2 down for Roswell in the top of the 6th. It's a 5-1 Invader lead.
But it doesn't sound like they have a lot of bullpen options. So I think they're going to ride Ira as far as he can go, man.
Oh, yeah. Maybe even past the breaking point.
Yeah, it's
which
like
also works for the Cowboys.
It's like one of those trucks in a ranch out in Alpine, Texas with 350,000 miles on it, Rowan. They're going to try and ride him to 350K today.
Tripoli in the box. First pitch to the righty, misses low and away. 1-0 now with 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning. Alpine looking to rally back. Only 1 run to their name today. Here's a 1-0. Tripoli sits on it as it's a strike on the bottom half. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tripoli in the box so far today, 0 for 2, all on strikeouts. As Ira Clifton steps off of the rubber, Tripoli out of the box. Now he's back in a 1-1 count. On deck for the Cowboys, it's the top of the order with Sean Becker in the hole, the smooth operator and former college teammate of Trevor Tripoli, Kyle Rodriguez. The 1-1. Goes slider, big swing and a miss downstairs, 1-2. Again, that slider so hard to hit at this field, especially when it begins to get dark.
Yeah, with it's just one row of lights on each fixture. I guess the ones here on the infield have 2 rows.
1-2. Tripoli, a chopper, third base side, collected by Bain. Fires first, got him for the 3rd out. It'll be the bottom of the 6th inning coming your way. A 5-1 Invader lead. When we return, you're listening to Alpine Cowboy Baseball on KVLF or YouTube. Here we go. Bottom of the sixth inning. It's a 5-1 Roswell Invader lead over the Alpine Cowboys. The sun has set in Roswell, which means lights come on, but the one in left center field, not all the lights on that fixture. Again, it's a row of lights, about 6 on each pole. Only one is on out there in left center on that fixture out there. All of them were working yesterday, and they said, how much was it to replace? Was it about
$5,000.
5,000 a piece to replace? So again, that just isn't going to happen, especially tonight.
Yeah, and we've already, even when all the lights are on, Rowan, none of them point upwards. So high fly balls in the twilight hour, like we have right now, can get lost in the sky, much like we saw at Garden City, and we've seen plenty of times here at Roswell. So, I mean, keep that on your radar here in the next couple innings.
Which can make a conclusion to this game that much more interesting. First pitch from the righty Vela misses downstairs 1-0. We're in the tail end of his start in the sixth inning, going up against Mikey Alonso, 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Invaders. Vela, deep breath in the pitch. Curveball fouled down. 1-1 our count as the Cowboys today with their red uniforms has the white lettering, gray pants, black hats, black accessories. Roswell on the flip side, the dark blue with the dark blue lettering and the neon trim, white pants and dark blue hats and helmets.
Hey.
Alonso with his turquoise gloves steps into the box. 1-1.
Hey, Bird has retired 8 straight.
The pitch. Upstairs, 2-1. Kind of like yesterday, or not yesterday, 2 days ago in Garden City, Jacob Bradley retired the first 8 batters he faced. Now a 2-1. Goes curveball, left side, and the streak is over. Mikey Alonso rips a leadoff single in the bottom of the sixth.
He is 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs, having a really good day. Again, he was the last one to get a hit off of Bert before Bert retired 8 in a row.
I guess you could say he's a triple and a home run away from the cycle, but those are the 2 hardest things to get in the cycle. So is it really worth saying? Now you go to Ioannis Alexandrov, the right-handed batter for Roswell, with a runner on first and nobody out.
Conversation now with John Tuttle and Ioannis.
Yeah, this wouldn't be the first time Ioannis got into a little disagreement with a Cowboy player.
Toddy coming down the third base line as well, but didn't look too heated.
No, not at all. I feel like it was just a small disagreement over something. We never know what it is in the moment. Then we get context afterwards, and then it's like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
The first pitch is fouled back.
It's almost like after every single ball game, we have a laundry list of things to ask players about.
Yeah.
Like, what was going on there?
Yeah, what was that about?
Yeah.
0-1 our count. The runner on first. Nobody out in the bottom of the sixth. Cowboys trail 5-1 for Humberto Vela. It's damage control here. The pitch. 0-1 sweeping down. Gets a swing and a miss. 0-2.
Only 1 base hit in 6 plate appearances for the 7 through 9 holes for Roswell. And that base hit came from the pitcher in the 9th spot.
Yeah, that's so funny. Ira Clifton, who went into this game batting 133, he was able to get it done on the base paths like that. 0-2. That's a curveball. Chopper right side. And now that streak is over as it splits the 4-3 gap. Back-to-back singles for Roswell to open the bottom of the sixth, that time off of the bat of Ioannis Alexandrov.
I'm thinking I should just shut my mouth at this point.
Maybe. As Chad Bain, who's 0 for 2 on the day, right-handed batter, steps into the box. Bad to the bone as he comes in.
Rowan, did you see that comment earlier about our hints about who may be coming?
Oh, yeah. They said, because we said the other night, it was in Alpine, too. It said it rhymed with Post Malone. And they thought, oh, must be Andrew Campone, a 2022 All-Star for the Cowboys. But no, this is Mateo Avalone. First pitch to Bain. He shows bunt, left side, right to the mound. Vela turns to third. He got him for the lead runner to be retired. So runners on first and second. Bain reaches via fielder's choice. Great heads-up play by the veteran Vela in his 3rd season in the league.
Yeah, to get the lead runner there. And that was squeaky, man. I mean, bang, bang over at third, but he got it done.
Now you go to Ira Clifton, the right-handed batter. and the pitcher and 9-spot hitter. He steps in. Again, you can't count him out. Had a single earlier. He's 1 for 2. Runners on first and second for the Invaders. 1 out. Bottom of the 6-5-1 Roswell lead. The pitch sinks through. That looks like a two-seam fastball for a strike 0-1.
Big out against the pitcher, man. No funny business in this at bat.
You can't afford to have it.
Yeah.
Looks back at second. 0-1. That time looks like a changeup misses downstairs. 1-1.
Man, it feels like Roswell hasn't been chasing anything today.
Exactly. And again, that's part of the key to success is to get those chase pitches. 1-1 kick and pitch. That time, a curveball that hangs on the top half, bites it on Clifton. 1-2. Looking in the Cowboy bullpen, Jesse Garcia is still warming up. A couple guys throwing the football, but Garcia is in full warm-up mode. He will likely be the first man out. As it's a 1-2 count with runners on first and second for the Invaders. 1 gone, bottom of the 6-5-1 Invader lead. Vela getting his signs from Tuttle. Teammates together here in Roswell in 23. Let's see what they can do here. Vela, his 1-2. And on the hands, Prakash at third, sends the second for 1, and it gets away from Tripoli. Invaders bringing 1 run off of that. Man, an opportunity to turn 2. It turns into disaster for the Cowboys. Invaders now lead 6-1. Runners on the corners.
Yeah, that was a tough play because of the runner heading down the baseline between second and third. Prakash again just tried to squeak that in on the left side of the bag where Tripoli was standing, and it missed just away enough for it to get away from Tripoli out to shallow center field. It's not like the runner heading between second and third either was trying to get in the way. He even hit the deck to get out of the way. But again, Prakash trying to establish that outside lane. And like you said, man, it turned into none.
Yeah, as now we have a meeting of the minds on the mound, the entire Cowboy infield. No coaches, so no Lance Myers, no Jesus Rosario as they have the conversation. Garcia is getting some work in right now, the left-handed arm for Alpine, working with, I guess, well, it would be Jake Sisto, but there have been times that, the one time against Garden City where Sisto was in the game catching. John Tuttle came into the game in right field. Aaron Izquierdo is playing first base. So a guy who was a catcher in college, Kyle Dalton, served as the Cowboys bullpen catcher.
I had lunch with him or dinner with him last night. I said, "Hey, man, how does it feel to be the new bullpen catcher?" And he didn't think that was very funny.
Righty on righty. First pitch to Murray. High and in at the letters, 1-0. On the first pitch there for Ty Murray, a bright spot on this Invaders team at Vassar College. They're all 4 years at Division III school. 1-0. Upstairs again, 2-0 the count. For Humberto Vela, the free passes, they've been quite frequent, but also not as many as you would think. He's only walked 2 batters today, but he's just been getting hit at the wrong times. 2-0. There it is at the belt line. Strike found. 2 balls, 1 strike with runners on the corners.
Yeah, I don't think I call it quite frequent, but maybe quite frequent for Bert. Two
Yeah,
walks through
that's
5.
that's exactly what it is. I wouldn't call it frequent at all, but for him,
Yeah, 2 through 6, I guess.
2-1 downstairs, 3 balls, 1 strike now on Ty Murray. Yeah, not a lot of walks to his name so far, not an HBP either, so we haven't gotten to that point yet. It's a 3-1 count to Ty Murray. Again, just timely hitting by Roswell. The 3-1 pitch. It's skied in the right field, a high towering fly ball. Under it is Kirby, the right fielder, makes the grab. Runner at third tags up. There's going to be a play at the plate. No, Aaron Izquierdo, the first baseman, eats the cutoff throw. So a 2 gone, it's a sac fly. It's a 7-1 Invader lead.
Hey, man, and this is baseball. You know, you can have play a team with a pretty bad record, but their starting pitcher is having a really good day. And I mean, there are teams that lead divisions that get blown out by teams at the tail end of divisions at all levels of baseball. That's just how baseball goes.
I think that's the beauty of it, too, honestly, as the lefty Sloan Laird steps in against the righty Vela, gets his signs, first pitch. Goes with a hanging breaking ball. Misses high to Sloan Laird. Was at Range College for a year, then Grayson County College before ended up making the jump to Division II in 2024 with Oklahoma Christian. 1-0 curveball belted right side and foul. An absolute worm burner past the first baseman Aaron Izquierdo's glove. 1-1.
You see that in midweek games too. Sometimes Texas will come out in a midweek, and Texas, through their best arms, number one in the country, can lose to Texas State on a guy who's touching 82 on the mound.
The 1-1 in on the hands and fouled back. You see it all the time. You even saw it with the guy who will likely be first out for the Cowboys, Jesse Garcia, where for him against Texas Southern, closing that out against Mississippi State, that was a midweek and that was a big win.
How many times are we going to talk about this, Rowan? In Starkville at Duty Noble Field.
Man. The 1-2 is another foul ball, a chopper on the first base line for Sloan Laird, trying his best to stay alive in this at bat. So far this season, Laird, a 354 average with 23 RBIs. He's really upped his game. There were many times throughout this season where he was batting sub 200 below the Mendoza line. But ever since, a lot of guys move away from the team. He's gotten more opportunities and he's made the most of it. 1-2 downstairs. 2-2 now to Sloan Laird with the runner on first. The pitcher, Ira Clifton. Vela getting his signs from the home plate umpire, from the catcher, John Tuttle. Eric Brown laying down the count. 2-2. Up top, pops it up. Left side in the infield. Shortstop, Rodriguez trailing back. He stumbles on the lip between the infield and the outfield, but he makes the catch for the third out, which now sends us to the top of the seventh. Roswell out in front big, 7-1 over the Cowboys, but don't go anywhere. Far from over. We are back with Alpine Cowboy baseball. It's the top of the seventh inning, a 7-1 Roswell Invader lead. The Cowboys have quite the hole to get out of as Ira Clifton continues what's been a phenomenal day on the bump. So far today, he's only allowed 5 hits, 1 run to the Cowboys. I guess the big picture, too, he's also only walked 2 batters, also an HBP to his name. Just the hitting for the Cowboys being out hit 9-5 right now. Not a huge difference, but at the same time, the hitting has not been timely for the Cowboys. The only RBI came from an unassisted ground out. That was from Carson Kirby making his Cowboy debut today. But Ira Clifton out there with a 6.5 ERA. His longest outing of the season came against the Trinidad Triggers 2 starts ago, going the full 9 innings in a 9-4 victory, giving up 2 earned runs. He walked only 4 batters, struck out 8 in that game. You know exactly what Clifton is capable of, and especially considering the fact he wasn't a starter in college, and he's able to do it at the professional level very well the last couple of games. So props to him. As the leadoff, top of the order for the Cowboys, Sean Becker in the box. Righty on, righty R matchup.
Yeah, Ron, I confirm with the Cowboy in the restroom. They're having a hard time seeing the slider today.
Exactly. First pitch, that looked like a slider. Up top 0-1 to Sean Becker. It's very tough, and I'm sure these Roswell pitchers, they know the game plan. I'm sure the Cowboy pitchers, they kind of know that game plan as well.
And Roswell's used to playing at this field, man. Their eyes are adjusted to see the breaking stuff and the weird lighting.
Becker swinging a rip. 0-1 left side. Will it split the gap? Diving catch left field. Caught by Shane Morrow. Wow. Stumbling to make the grab. Looked like a base hit for sure for Sean Becker, but Shane Morrow. Wow.
Wow. Might be one of those days, man. That was incredible.
I know Jake Sisto fell victim to that in the Garden City series where the shortstop Caleb Skull, he caught air. It looked like Superman about 3 feet in the air diving to make a catch. Looked like it was going to split the infield. But now Kyle Rodriguez, a right-handed batter, steps in the box. He's 0 for 3 on the day with a pair of strikeouts. Let's see what he does here as Clifton delivers the first pitch. It's a heater away, 1-0 to Kyle Rodriguez at Central Washington University. Before that, at St. Cloud. That's where he began his collegiate career as Rodriguez. Back in the box. Clifton, deep breath, 1-0. Inside strike.
Yeah, and I talk about that one school that sounds like a generic school name that's made up. St. Cloud's the opposite. That sounds like a really cool name.
It really does. I was going to say, I thought you were going to group them together. And I'm like,
No.
what are you talking about?
Absolutely not.
You're absolutely right, though, as
do you think?
Clifton gets his signs from Alexandrov.
What do we think their mascot is?
1-1 delivery. Breaking ball for a strike. The curveball that time. Rodriguez checked up on his swing. Didn't matter. It was a strike regardless. With one gone, nobody on base for the Cowboys. In the top of the 7th inning, they trail 7-1 to the Invaders. Clifton getting his signs from Alexandrov. Looks down in a 1-2 delivery. Big swing and a miss. Rodriguez has struck out for the 3rd time today for the 2nd out in the top of the 7th.
You have a guess? Mascot on St. Cloud?
The Mustangs.
It's the Huskies.
The Huskies. I was not even close. As James Procish steps in the box, he's reached by an error, a single, and a walk.
I feel like I've seen their logo before.
Yes, I have.
It reminds me of Montreal Canadiens logo, but an ST in the middle of it.
Here we go. The first pitch to Procish. Takes a heater up top. 0-1, right on top of the belt line. Procish, the Cowboys' batting average leader, RBI leader, home run leader. We can go on and on. Not on base. That is Sean Becker, over 500 there. The 0-1 cracks up the middle. Ira Clifton got a hold of it. He was able to ricochet it past to the third baseman. That's the 3rd out. What a play by Ira Clifton. He hit the deck. He was able to ricochet it to the 3rd baseman, Bain, who sent it to 1st.
Man, he's having a great night tonight. That's 9 in a row retired by Clifton now.
And again, Ira Clifton with, like you said, 3 straight 1, 2, 3 innings. And to get that 3rd out like that, it has to be frustrating for the Cowboys.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when we're trailing on the road against a team, when we're in a tight division race with the Pecos Bills. Frustrating is a good word for it, Ron. We can stay here if you want to.
Oh, absolutely. That was actually my intention.
Yeah.
But for the Cowboys right now in a 7-1 deficit, you're heading into the bottom of the 7th inning. You're trailing big as Roswell leads by 6. What can you do?
Like I was talking about before, I think the goal should be to chase Ira out of the ball game. But now with 2 innings left, I mean, just battle. Just put together good at bats. Take a winning approach to the plate. Think, like we talked about on the podcast, that's going to be aired probably later tonight with James Procish. Is you got to have the mindset that we deserve to win this game. We're winners. We're a winning program, and take that mindset to every single AB and scrap your way to get on base for the last 2 innings, because a comeback is possible if we just start getting to Clifton, put together good ABs, and somehow get on base. Get that guy out of the ball game. I don't think there's bullpen options. So again, you just can't lose that body language. Can't hang your head, right?
Yeah, and Jesse Garcia has taken over here in the bottom of the 7th inning for the Cowboys, which means Humberto Vela's day is over. Garcia an 11-1 ERA on the season. However, his last outing against Garden City, very good. 3 2/3 innings pitched, 1 earned run. Sure, he walked 5 batters. You never liked that. But at the same time, he had really good stuff in that outing. And Well, let's look at that strikeout to walk ratio. Whenever we can get it on YouTube here. But for the radio, I guess I could spoil it a little bit here. He has struck out 23 batters in 23 innings, but he's walked 25.
Yeah, you can see it here. Well, yeah, like you just said, you can't see it if you're on the radio, but um, about just north of a 2 whip. But I think the key for Jesse Garcia is he's had really great outings, like you mentioned. When he comes in and he's been a long relief option at times. The two highlights, I think, like you said, a good night the other day against Garden City, but early on in the season, went 5 against Blackwell, went 6 against Roswell.
That was a start.
Yeah, those were in starts, but has had some long relief outings that went really well as well. But
I believe that Blackwell one was also a long relief outing as well.
okay.
But now you go to Najee King, left-handed batter, 3-slot hitter. King so far is 0 for 2 with a walk. Let's see what he can do here against Jesse Garcia. As for the first time tonight, we have a lefty on lefty matchup. Let's see how it goes. Garcia is on the bump for the Cowboys. King stepping in the box to lead off this bottom of the 7th. It's a 7-1 Invader lead. Let's see if Roswell can hang on. First pitch. Goes slider inside, unable to bite the zone.
Yeah, no, one advantage we have as broadcasters who spend as much time with the team as we do is we get to see the character of these guys. Man, Jesse is a great dude.
Yeah, you can't deny that. 1-0, it's a slider away in the dirt. 2-0 to King.
Remember last time in Roswell?
Oh, yeah, last time in Roswell, he was there. He got the team McDonald's for breakfast.
Yeah. On his start day.
Yeah. The kick and pitch down Broadway for a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike now. Carson Kirby, the new guy, rookie in his first game for the Cowboys. He was telling me today, last night, staying with Jesse in the hotel. Jesse cleaned up his stuff for him as the 2-1 on the outside is able to be framed up for a strike.
I mean, just uncommon generosity, man. If Karma Points got Jesse Garcia anything, he'd have a 0-0 ERA right now.
Exactly. 2-2, the kick and pitch. Curveball down the middle for a strike, and that retires Najee King. 1 up, 1 down for the Cowboys in the bottom of the 7th. Great recovery for Garcia. Was down 2-0 in a hitter's count. 3 strikes in a row. Now you go to Shane Morrow, who absolutely robbed Sean Becker of a base hit in the top of the 7th.
Najee has a 0 average against Jesse.
Yeah.
It continues.
Foul back 0-1. I'm sure these hitters, they think about, just in the back of their head, they have a memory of I remember this guy from last time. Maybe I don't remember his stuff, but I can kind of remember the end result. Yeah, and it wasn't pretty.
It's different for everybody, but there's 100% guys who do that.
Yeah. I feel like Najee King may be one of them.
Yeah.
0-1, kick and deal. It's a fastball up top, just below the letters to Shane Morrow. 1-1. Last time Jesse pitched here, it was one of his best starts of the entire season, where he went 6 innings, only gave up 3 runs, and what was a Cowboy victory. The Invaders are looking for their first win of the Cowboys this season. 1-1, check swing outside. Doesn't matter. That was a strike anyhow. 1-2.
I think Jesse's going slider heavy right now. I think he's heard the word about the slider here at the ballpark today, and I think we've seen a few sliders that have froze up Najee and now Morrow there.
That's what Humberto Vela was doing towards the tail end.
Yeah.
He deals away. A slider that hangs away. 2-2 now to Shane Morrow.
And part of that is Tuttle, who has a lot of experience playing here at Joe Ballman Stadium, calling the pitches in the batter's box or just behind it.
2-2. The offering from Garcia. Froze him up on the bottom half for the second out. Garcia struck out the last 2 batters to start off his outing in the bottom of the 7th.
Dude, that was a gnarly 2-seam. Started well inside, broke back towards the plate, froze him up. It looked like he put some extra mustard on that one. And like you said, back-to-back backwards Ks to start off this outing for Jesse.
Now you go to Michael Fisk, a right-handed batter who has had the Cowboys number today. Pair of RBIs, 2 for 3, including an RBI triple. for Fisk out of Concordia, Austin. Right-handed batter, first pitch. There's a strike on the outside corner, 0-1 with 2 gone, nobody on base for the Invaders. In the bottom of the 7th inning, it's a 7-1 Roswell lead over the Cowboys.
This is Fisk's first time seeing Jesse. Just a moment ago, Morrow had a 0 average against him as well.
0-1 strike on the outside, painted up. A beautiful location from Garcia, a beautiful frame from John Tuttle as Fisk steps out of the box with his turquoise bat, turquoise on the barrel. As he steps in with his white gloves, Garcia getting his signs from John Tuttle. The sky is pitch black, wind blowing to the left. And an 0-2 delivery. Downstairs in the dirt, it spikes up. 1 ball, 2 strikes now.
Yeah, like we said, these Invaders haven't been chasing much, but again, Jesse just having to trick them up, find the zone, and been doing a great job of doing so. But Fisk doesn't chase there.
And both strikeouts have been looking. 1-2. Fouled back. Fisk staying alive. Nearly tripped and fell in the process, but he stays alive at least with 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Did he catch Tuttle there? It looked like he apologized to Tuttle as he came back in the box.
Yeah, I think maybe even not even on the swing, but just when he was kind of trailing off after, he may have tripped on Tuttle.
Yeah, looked like he was wearing ice skates on a dance floor there.
Ice skates on a dance floor. I like that analogy. With 1 ball and 2 strikes, Garcia, he stares down his battery mate Tuttle, gets the pitch he likes, and the kick and pitch. Low and in, 2-2, unable to freeze up Fisk.
Man, I thought that one was pretty close to the zone. Tuttle was set up high and away there, so maybe that attributed us to not getting that call, or attributed to us not getting that call.
That very well could be the case. A beautiful night in Roswell, New Mexico. The sky has gone dark here, dark blue as Fisk steps out of the box, takes another timeout. It's his second timeout of this at-bat. He steps right back in. We mentioned that turquoise bat. He's back in now. As Garcia gets his signs from Tuttle. The 2-2 kick and pitch. Slider away, got him looking. Strike out the side, Jesse Garcia to send us to the top of the 8th. Cowboys still in the hole. They trail 7-1. We'll be right back. You're listening to KVLF or YouTube. We're in the top of the 8th inning. It's a 7-1 Invader lead. The Cowboys down to their last 6 outs. Ira Clifton continuing a phenomenal start. He's back on the mound for his 8th inning of work, facing the righty and Brandon Andrews, the righty on the bump, and Clifton getting his signs from Alexandrov. And the first pitch delivery on the way. Goes away with a two-seam, misses down.
Again, I'm just expecting more sliders and seeing if the Cowboys can start picking it up.
Maybe you definitely expect that from Clifton.
Maybe pairing it with a fastball high and in.
Well, no. That time it dips downstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. A hitter's count to Brandon Andrews, who so far today is 0 for 2 with a walk. He's reached by a fielder's choice and that walk I mentioned. 2-0. That time a breaking ball finds the zone. On deck for the Cowboys, it's Carson Kirby. In the hole, Aaron Izquierdo. All in all, it's 4, 5, and 6 due up for Alpine in this top of the 8th. Here's the 2-1 to the cleanup man, Andrews. Fishes for it, right side, gets down for a base hit just on the edge of the infield dirt. It rolls to the right fielder for Roswell and Fisk. A leadoff single for the Cowboys and Brandon Andrews in the top of the 8th.
And the big ball game that we're looking for in the league right now is the Pecos Bills and Tucson Saguaros. They're just getting started. Either that or point streak is behind, but Bills up 2-0 in the first out in Tucson, Arizona.
That would make sense if they're just getting started because they are, Pacific time?
Yeah.
That would add up. But, man, 2-0 Bills. Left-handed batter, Carson Kirby in the box. First pitch. The rookie takes a fastball for a strike at the belt line, 0-1. With the runner on first for the Cowboys, that being Brandon Andrews with nobody out. Cowboys looking for a rally here, trailing by 6, down to their final 6 outs. 0-1, the offering from Clifton. Smacks it left side, goes under the glove of the shortstop, Laird. Andrews has second. It goes all the way into left center field, still not recovered. That will allow Carson Kirby to take second base. 2 in scoring position for the Cowboys with nobody out.
Yeah, and this awkward infield plays a little bit of a difference there, Rowan, as it just pops under the glove of the shortstop. You know, one thing to note, we can't see the bullpen at all for the Roswell Invaders. We don't know if anybody's warming up over there, but it's very possible at this point.
It's definitely in the cards, especially if the Cowboys can get something out of this inning as the righty Aaron Izquierdo steps into the box. An 0 for 3 day at the plate for him. But he steps in. He was earlier today bonding with his fellow first baseman, Mateo Avalone, just meeting for the first time. But the same man brought them to Alpine, Texas, that being Ryan Stevens. They were bonding over New York culture, all of that.
Having some bagels, enjoying Sam and Locke's bagels together.
Clifton goes with a breaking ball for a strike, 0-1. Mateo told Aaron the story about how Mateo's parents met for the first time. It's probably the most New York story ever.
Were they on the subway, Rowan?
No, it's even more New York than that. It's Clifton delivers downstairs, 1-1 to Izquierdo. So Mateo's dad was in the NYPD. Mateo's mom also in the NYPD. They were partners, and that's how they met.
Oh, wow.
Clifton, deep breath in the pitch. Izquierdo smacks it left side. It gets through in the 5-6 gap on the grounder. In comes Andrews. Kirby wants it all. Here's a throw. It's going to be a play at the plate. Did they get him? He's safe. He's safe. Carson Kirby in to score. The throw from Shane Morrow was in time, but the tag was offline. Cowboys bring in 2 runs. It's a 7-3 Invader lead.
Honest is not happy right now with Carson. Carson, again, running hard down that third base line. The throw came well in time. They teach you to run hard, though, and he ran right into, tried to slide into that plate. And, again, the tag popped the ball out of Ioannis's glove. And, if Kirby just lets himself up there, there's an out, and the Cowboys don't score another run. But with that hard run down the third base line, look what happened, man. We're back in this thing, it feels like.
RBI double. Aaron Izquierdo makes it a 7-3 ball game. With John Tuttle, the right-handed batter, in the box. He has a single, an HBP, and a strikeout to his name. The righty takes a slider down the gut. 0-1 to start us off. Cowboys only trailing by 4. Jesse Garcia is holding a bat in the on-deck circle, which tells me that more than likely we're going to see him in the bottom of the 8th inning. We're in the top right now.
400 average for Jesse on the year.
0-1. Big swing and a miss away.
That's that slider.
Yeah, again.
Kind of slurvish.
I got kind of like a sweeper type of feel for that as well. But yeah, that's certainly the slider. As it's 0-2 on Tuttle with Izquierdo on second. Big spot here for the Cowboys. Any run is a big run, especially when you're down by 4 in the top of the 8th inning with nobody out and the man on second. The kick and pitch. Tuttle rips it right side and foul. Just staying alive with his daughter watching, his girlfriend watching, having so much family here. Family's so important to John Tuttle, especially when his daughter was born just under a month ago. Clifton getting his signs from Alexandrov. Shakes off a pair of pitches. Now he sees one he likes. And he deals away to John Tuttle. Looks back at second. Now the pitch. It's a slider in the dirt opposite batter's box. 1-2 as Tuttle stays alive in this at bat. Steps out. Now he's back in with Izquierdo at second base.
Every time we lay off this slider, Rowan, it's like a win in my book.
Yes.
Even on an 0-2.
1-2, rips it left side. It gets through for a base hit. Skipping off of the dirt. Izquierdo gets the stop sign at third. Big time single for John Tuttle.
All right, 4 singles in a row. You got to think Toddy will come out and talk to Clifton now.
Left-handed batter and Jesse Garcia will come in. The pitcher is now Clifton. Has a quick word with his second baseman, Mikey Alonso. His catcher, Alexandrov. So far, yet to join the party is the shortstop Laird and the third baseman Bain. And the big elephant in the room, no Garrett Toddy out there quite yet. Now it's just one-on-one with Alexandrov and Clifton, 2 guys with very different backgrounds. Clifton, coming out of Oklahoma Christian, grew up in Fayetteville, Georgia. Pretty much the opposite for Ioannis Alexandrov. Grew up in Sofia, Bulgaria. Was in the Chicago Cubs organization. Got released 2 years ago. Both looking to hang on to their pro baseball dreams as Garcia steps into the box for the Cowboys, and the mound meeting has been dispersed.
And there is somebody warming up in the Roswell bullpen.
I can
like
see that.
30-something.
30? Yeah, again, we can barely see. All we can see is an arm.
Yeah.
That's all we can see.
I think I see 34.
Clifton, the pitch. Garcia bunts it right side. It's fair. Collected by Clifton. Underhands to home. Is he safe? He is out. Izquierdo is retired for the first out. Good tag applied there by Alexandrov. The good news for the Cowboys is Garcia reaches on a fielder's choice, but that's a big out for the Invaders. That saved it from being a 3-run ball game.
Yeah. I thought he was safe, Ron. I thought that Ioannis didn't apply that tag on the front half of the plate, and I thought we touched the front half of the plate before his glove touched our foot sliding into home plate. But
well, had we been in Garden City, we can just go like
yeah,
this tap on the head. As Trevor Tripoli, the pseudo leadoff man and 9-hole hitter, steps in. 0 for 3 day at the plate for him. He's got runners on first and second with 1 gone. A 7-3 Invader lead. Righty on righty first pitch. Slider away. It's a strike.
Another thing that I was talking to the Cowboy about when I went to the restroom is he said that it seems like that outside of the plate has been called a strike all day, which helps the slider even more.
Exactly. 0-1, a deep breath, looks back at second, and a delivery. Goes slider. This time Tripoli gets a hold of it and fouls it off. But still, he's down 0-2. On deck for the Cowboys, it's the leadoff man, Sean Becker. In the hole, it's Kyle Rodriguez. An 0-2 count. The pitcher and Clifton getting his signs from Alexandrov in a big spot here. He's only allowed 3 runs today. And his delivery. High and in with the heater at the letters to Trevor Tripoli. Those white letters on the red Cowboys uniform.
That high and in fastball, man. I don't know if that was the fastball, maybe the change up there, but the high and in pitch sets up that slider low and away.
How about this? A ball from the Invader bullpen somehow got in the right field, and the right fielder, Michael Fisk, had to go pick it up.
But when
umpire called time.
When you're up 0-2 like Clifton is, the setup pitch, it's a perfect time to go with the setup pitch because you have a couple of balls to waste. So I think that that's setting up the, again, breaking pitch low and away.
As Clifton gets his signs, and now his delivery to Tripoli. High and in, that time at head level 2 balls, 2 strikes now.
That's the breaking pitch again, though.
You were saying, was it high in the way you were anticipating?
I was anticipating low and away.
Or low in the way? I was gonna say that makes more sense. The 2-2 even pitch. Tripoli on the hands to the third baseman, steps on the bag. Bain. Here's the throw to first. That's an out. That looks like a double play. They still haven't ruled it officially. Is Tripoli safe at first? That's the question. And now, the umpires are going to talk about this. Eric Brown, the home plate umpire, wasn't quite sure. The second base umpire didn't see it quite enough. Looked like a 5-3 double play turned by the Invaders, which would get them out of what's been a nightmare top of the eighth. And they're going to say it was off of the bag. The throw led the first baseman King off of the bag. So Tripoli stays at first base. There are 2 gone, runners on first and second. The Cowboys stay alive in the top of the eighth, trailing by 4. So back-to-back Cowboys have reached on a fielder's choice. Now, Sean Becker in this top of the eighth inning, a big spot as he's 2 for 4 on the day. The leadoff man in the Cowboys lineup for a reason. Righty on righty, Clifton. Who knows if we see him for the 9th inning, but if we do, or if we don't, then this would be quite the ending if he could retire Becker as he gets his signs from Alexandrov. Jesse Garcia is on second base. Trevor Tripoli's on first. Deep breath and a delivery. Dips through for a strike, 0-1 on Becker.
Yeah, I think Becker would take his 2 for 4 so far in the day, but this is way bigger, man. This is all he's going to think about this at bat.
Way bigger than any stat line. You're right. 0-1 outside, bites the zone. Great location that time, low and away from Clifton.
Yeah, it's so deep into this outing. He's going breaking ball heavy now.
As he should, especially, just using your environment to your advantage.
Yeah, especially with all the pitches taxing his arm thus far.
As it's an 0-2, Clifton on the way. Becker takes it downstairs. Clifton was getting ready to walk off of the mound. Thought he had it, but it's a 1-2 count. So Sean Becker, the right-handed batter with runners on first and second. A big spot here for the Cowboys, trailing by 4, down to what's their final 4 outs now. Clifton, the kick and deal. Reaches for it, foul ball right side.
Yeah, just a battle pitch. Becker trying to battle now. Maybe waiting on something and fouling off everything else that comes his way.
Exactly, because you don't know what the umpire is going to call, especially because the home plate umpire, Eric Brown, has been calling a lot of pitches low and away strikes.
Yeah.
Clifton, his offering to Sean Becker. High and in, 2-2.
Another ball sails out of the bullpen. How many times do we see that here in Roswell?
And that time, that was thrown way back. That was in the right center field, and the bullpen.
That's like a Lane Kiffin free timeout, Rowan.
Exactly.
Not that you don't get awarded as many timeouts as you need here.
Clifton in a big spot against Sean Becker. Big spot for both teams, to say the least. Deep breath in the pitch. Becker takes a fastball high, a full count at the plate. Alpine trailing 7-3 to the Invaders. Roswell yet to beat the Cowboys this season, but they are 4 outs away from doing so. Roswell beat the Cowboys once last year. It was right here in Roswell. The 3-2, swing and a miss on a slider. Beautiful execution by Clifton to send us into the bottom of the eighth. Cowboys down to their last 3 outs. They trail 7-3. bottom of the 8th, do or die right here for the Cowboys. Trailing 7-3. Jesse Garcia in his second inning of work. He struck out the side the last time around. 3 batters, all of them retired on backwards Ks. He'll have to face 6, 7, and 8. Pretty insane stuff from Jesse Garcia in that last inning.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen that. 3 backwards Ks in an inning.
I know. You just don't see that every day. I was very impressed as Garcia, the lefty, looks to hopefully continue that in this bottom of the 8th inning, facing Mikey Alonso. Alonso, it's going to be easier said than done, though. He's 3 for 3 today with 3 RBIs. The right-handed batter against the left-handed pitcher. Alpine knowing this is a must-win game, especially if Pecos can pull off the win against Tucson tonight, which would be a really big win for them. At this point as well, Pecos, they're pretty close to Tucson, especially with the amount of times they play each other throughout the course of the season. Maybe we see a world where the Bills surpass the Saguaros. You never know. First pitch. Alonso swings and misses on an outside fastball.
Wow. Maybe we do see a world with that 7-0 Bills.
No. Maybe the first time in my life I've been a Tucson Saguaro fan. Garcia kicks and deals. Low and in, 1-1. But at the same time, that's still a negative for the Cowboys if the Saguaros were to win that game, just because you're further back from first place. Again, it's bittersweet regardless.
Yeah, I don't think I have a dog in that hunt just yet.
1-1, the offering from Garcia. Low and in, check swing. He did not go. 2-1. See some heat lightning off in the distance.
Yeah. I saw some earlier too. Nothing to be concerned about. Do you think we'd still play a game if there was heat lightning above us?
Yeah, it doesn't touch the ground.
Yeah, I couldn't see it, but I mean, imagine if it was right above us.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The 2-1, big hack. Beautiful breaking ball went right down the middle of the plate. 2-2 our count to the leadoff man in the bottom of the 8th, Mikey Alonso out of United International College.
3 for 3 on the day, man. Mikey has had our number.
He had 3 RBIs.
Coming
Garcia right the wrongs. 2-2. Downstairs, not quite yet. Full count.
Coming in the game with a 235 average. Both the guys, Fisk and Alonso, we were talking about early in the game, having some pretty bad averages at like 212 and 235. And I mean, those are the 2 guys who did the damage and had 5 of the RBIs for Roswell.
The payoff is a chopper to the shortstop, Rodriguez. 6 it, fires. Got him at first. 1 up, 1 down for the Cowboys in the bottom of the 8th. So for Alpine, this includes Humberto Vela as well. They have now retired 6 batters in a row. Because in that 6th inning, Vela retired the last 2 batters he faced. Garcia struck out the side in the 7th, and then the first out here in the 8th. That leads to Yohannes Alexandrov, a 1 for 3 day at the plate for him. Right-handed batter, left-handed arm for the Cowboys. Music on full blast as Alexandrov steps in. It was like some 50s song he came out to. First pitch. Outside, 1-0.
Wow, man. You have a deep music repertoire, but with that song, you say some 50s song?
Yeah, that was terrible.
You've never heard that one before?
I've heard it. I don't want to say where I've heard it from because it's embarrassing. 1-0, big hack downstairs, 1-1. I mean, it's PG.
Where'd you hear from?
Where it was sampled in a modern song.
Okay.
Garcia kicks and deals away. That's a curveball, looked like. That's fouled straight back. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Yohannes Alexandrov with 1 out in this bottom of the 8th inning. Nobody on base for the Invaders. Cowboys looking to rally, trailing by 4.
It's Put Your Head on My Shoulder by Paul Anka.
That's what it is.
I mean, I've heard it a lot.
Oh, yeah. 1-2. Inside. Just unable to bite it. John Tuttle dropped it, but it's a 2 ball, 2 strike count We're all even to Alexandrov.
That must be his walkout song too. The Bulgarian walking out to that.
Mm.
I'm surprised we didn't have some Bulgarian, some techno disco tech, as they call it.
Is that a big thing over there?
I guess that's what Germans call it.
The 2-2, another chopper to the shortstop Rodriguez. He fires the first, doing the splits Izquierdo, the first baseman, to get the second out. So 2 balls heading in the direction of Kyle Rodriguez have been outs in this bottom of the 8th.
I think disco is still pretty big in Europe, though. Disco,
Oh, yeah.
dance music.
I know it was definitely a 70s fad in the United States that died out. I mean, so many, even like metal bands are doing disco albums.
Really?
Look at Kiss, man. First pitch to the righty Bain. Swing and miss on a pitch away, 0-1. With 2 outs, nobody on base for the Invaders. Bottom of the 8th, Cowboys trail by 4. They'll have quite a bit of work to do if they want to live another day in the top of the 9th, which they'll be there regardless, but just want a dying chance. 0-1 high and in.
Bain is 0 for 3 on the day, and his first swing there wasn't very pretty either.
Yeah, Bain, a 240 average. Yet to get a hit off of Garcia this season. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss on a fastball up top, 1-2.
Yeah, it looks like he has a pickaxe in his hand right now, man. It doesn't.
He's bad to the bone, though.
He doesn't look very comfortable.
Here we go. Garcia, his signs from Tuttle. And delivery. He sets up outside. That's where he goes, and it misses away. Two balls, 2 strikes now to Chad Bain, the former train robber, was teammates last season with another former Cowboy, Chris Brown. And a 2-2 from Garcia. Upstairs, full count.
Yeah, 4-seam there.
This is a big spot. Even though there's nobody on base for Roswell, you can't really look past it. This is a big spot for the Cowboys.
I think John Tuttle packs dirt in his glove, Rowan.
You think so?
Because when we have a pitch that comes to John Tuttle, we see the dirt fly up in the air every single time, and we don't see it with any other catchers in the league. I think he packs something into his glove. That way, it looks faster coming out of the hand of our pitchers.
Yeah, what would be the advantage of doing that?
I just think it looks better on the eye. It's like hearing a heavy pitch as well. It's kind of more intimidating. It looks good to scouts.
The payoff, and on the hands, fouled back. Bain stays alive in the bottom of the 8th with 2 gone. Hey, you could be right. Again, it's a beautiful look. It's a beautiful sound when that fastball hits the glove as well.
Yeah. And, sometimes, it's part of a catcher's job. Sisto talked to us about making sure it sounds heavy.
3-2 away. Got him looking. Garcia has retired the last 6 batters he's faced. And now it's top of the 9th. Do or die for the Cowboys. They trail by 4. Top of the 9th. Do or die for the Cowboys. Their final 3 outs. They are down to in a 7-3 Invader lead. Ira Clifton, the pitcher on the day for the Invaders, looking for his second complete game of the season. Had one just 2 starts ago against the Trinidad Triggers. That was a 9-4 win. He looks for a second against the Alpine Cowboys, and what would be a big win on the season, which would improve their record to 7 wins, which isn't too flattering to look out, but also it would end their 9-game losing streak.
Yeah. Maybe just a little bit of a moral victory, man.
As Clifton, he'll have to face 2, 3, and 4 for the Cowboys. Kyle Rodriguez, James Procish, and Brandon Andrews. Pitch black skies here in Roswell as the Invaders, with a really solid showing with the fans tonight, looking to get one of their biggest wins of the season.
Yeah, that is impressive, man. Bringing this many fans out to a 6-31 record team. Roswell is one of those teams in the Pecos League, man. They'll bring fans out regardless. People in this town care about this team.
Oh, for sure. Same with Santa Fe. They've really struggled the last 4 or 5 years, but they still get fans.
Garden City, Santa Fe, Roswell, Tucson is kind of different. There's 500,000 people in that town.
Oh, yeah. Again, you'd hope you get at least a couple hundred,
Yeah.
which sometimes they don't. First pitch to the righty Rodriguez. Goes with a heater inside for a strike, 0-1. We've seen Clifton in the last few innings, especially as it's gotten darker, going breaking ball heavy, especially with that slider that's really hard to see. I would anticipate it's more of the same in this top of the 9th inning.
Yeah.
0-1. Fouled down. 0-2 early on Kyle Rodriguez, the leadoff man for the Cowboys in the top of the 9th. The Invaders looking for what would be considered an upset of the Alpine Cowboys. Cowboys only lost to the Invaders once last year. Notably, Roswell was a playoff team. Lost in the first round to the Tucson Saguaros as Clifton. He gets his signs from Alexandrov. Still waiting, and Rodriguez calls time yet again.
They got bad for K-Rod. Again, 0 for 4 on the day. And we need to get things going here. This would be a great time for it.
At 3 strikeouts as well. Clifton. Now his delivery to Kyle Rodriguez. Fouled back. It was in on the hands. Fouled towards the Cowboys on deck. Circle off to the left. Pick up by James Procish. Procish had a Victus bat in his last game against Garden City. Broke it. He actually had to send them the video of him breaking the bat to get a warranty on it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
They have warranties. I didn't know that.
For a bat, too, something you're expected to break. That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's good business, I guess, on their end. Or
Maybe.
not. 0-2. High and in. Rodriguez and a 1-2.
That's a good ad for Victus bat throwing.
Yes.
Of a warranted bat. Whenever these guys are dropping $200 on bats, getting paid $75 a week.
It had that cherry on the barrel. I think Hunter Damon is getting that same bat, which is really funny. The 1-2 up top, check swing. Did he go? He kept it in check.
One thing I've noticed, though, when we were in Garden City, when we were in Tucson, there's some fans that chirp whenever certain calls don't go their way. I've noticed nothing but respect from Roswell fans, honestly.
Hey, I will take that. Always great to see mutual respect. The 2-2 to Rodriguez. Swing and a miss. That's the 4th time he struck out today. That's the first out in the top of the 9th. And all of the strikeouts on the Cowboys have been swinging, which is funny because for Jesse Garcia, who has pitched 2 innings of relief for the Cowboys, all of his strikeouts have been looking, which is 4.
It might just be communicating an aggressive approach from us, which is what you'd expect from a great hitting team like the Cowboys and a team that's kind of on their back foot or on their heels like the Roswell Invaders, as they've taken a patient approach to their plate and a lot of backwards Ks for them.
And the first pitch is on the bottom half to James Procish for a strike. 0-1 with Brandon Andrews on deck, Carson Kirby in the hole. The 0-1 is high and away.
And even against a pitcher like Humberto, who doesn't walk very many guys, both times the Roswell Invaders did some big damage was when an inning started off with a walk.
It's Clifton. He gets the signs from Alexandrov. And the 1-1. Procish swinging a rip left side. It gets through on the third base line. Procish rounding first. He won second base. Here's a throw from Morrow. Won't get there in time. Sliding legs first with 1 out. James Procish, a big-time extra base hit. Now you go to Brandon Andrews, who singled in his last at bat, but today he is 1 for 3 with a walk, the right-handed batter, and Clifton having a conversation with his catcher and his skipper, Garrett Toddy. The good news is for the Invaders that they needed this type of performance from Clifton, especially when Toddy, their manager, is going to pitch tomorrow. And so, again, if you used all your bullpen arms today and if they're too tired to go tomorrow, then their skipper would have to pitch all 9 innings.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's going to be the deal. Oh, did they just took the ball? They just took the ball. Clifton is done, and Mike Martinez will enter this game for the Invaders. Wow, we're going to send it to a quick commercial break in the top of the 9th when we return. We are back in the top of the 9th inning. The Cowboys down to their final 2 outs. They trail 7-3. And after an incredible day from Ira Clifton, nothing to hang his head from at all. I mean, as a matter of fact, it may be his best start of the season. They pull the plug on them and they go to Mike Martinez, a 6.0 ERA on the season. Through 19 innings pitched, he has struck out 24 batters compared to walking 16, the former Pecos Bill, to start the year as Brandon Andrews steps in the box.
He's been really good against the Cowboys. Again, we were surprised that he got cut by the Bills because he had a couple of good outings against us, but it seems like every single time he comes in against the Cowboys, and we can see that here, he's given up no earned runs in each appearance against Alpine.
First pitch to Andrews, high and away on the heater. It's a righty on righty matchup. Martinez, if I recall, his curveball, that was a pitch that I remembered was very deadly. 1-0. Slider away for a strike.
And that outside of the plate continues to get called today, but I think it's been consistent either way.
Prakash the man on second after a double. That led to manager Garrett Toddy pulling the plug on Clifton. The 1-1, Andrews in on the hands, right side, foul. Goes into the Invader dugout. Najee King, the first baseman, just watched it as it dropped. 1-2 now to Brandon Andrews. On deck for the Cowboys is Carson Kirby, the rookie who, man, regardless if Andrews gets on base or not, what a big spot that would be for a guy in his first pro baseball game. 1-2, Martinez. The delivery to Brandon Andrews. A deep breath on the way. That was way too outside. He was trying to attack the outside. Went well on the outside, 2-2.
Batters boxes have disappeared again. They don't have the right chalk for it.
I guess not. Yeah, you can't see those white lines. You can kind of picture them, though. 2-2. Andrews is down on strikes. Big time slider to retire Brandon Andrews out of the hand of Mike Martinez. Cowboys down to their final out. They go to the lefty, the rookie, and Carson Kirby. Here we go. Big spot for Carson Kirby at Bruton Parker Christian, an NAIA school where he put up numbers, was a great player all around.
500 average on the day.
Yeah, so far today, a single and RBI as well. First pitch outside, it misses to the lefty. Let's see how the righty and Martinez on the mound will adjust with Prakash on second base. Martinez, the kick and pitch. Goes slider down the middle of the plate, 1-1. A nasty pitch. Honestly, kind of a slurve type of pitch.
Did we score one of them in error, Ron?
I did.
Okay. I remember that. Under the glove with the shortstop.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which that was tough. I get.
I'm with you there.
1-1. Slider on the hands, liner to the third baseman, Bain, and that's your ball game. Final score, Roswell Invaders 7, Alpine Cowboys 3. Alpine, they lose their 17th game of the season, and the Roswell Invaders snap a 9-game losing streak.
Yeah. I mean, Ira Clifton had our number today. That's how baseball goes, man. You can have a bad season, but I mean, teams like the Seattle Mariners who was their great starting pitcher for so long.
Felix Hernandez.
Right now, the Pittsburgh Pirates with Paul Skeens. You can have a team that's struggling on the year, but have a guy come out, absolutely throw a gem, and get a nice win against a good program.
Absolutely right. I mean, if we had a player of the game, you got to go Ira Clifton. This guy was incredible today. 8 1/3, only giving up 3 runs to the Cowboys. He had the Alpine's number, and he's one of their best arms. You got to give credit where credit is due.
Yeah, but, Rowan, we should have opportunities tomorrow.
Absolutely. Garrett Toddy on the mound for the Invaders. I mean, if Roswell wins tomorrow, which, again, I'm never going to rule out. I never will. That's going to be something out of a movie.
If Roswell wins tomorrow, we'll get matching Roswell Invader tattoos. What do you think about that?
I don't want to promise that, honestly.
Dang it.
Because again, I can always, no matter the opponent, I can always see a world where it goes down. But again, the odds very much in the Cowboys' favor tomorrow. Ryan, any parting words for our beautiful fans?
We saw a new face today, Carson Kirby again. He had a good day. I guess just one single for him, but an RBI as well. Reach base on the error. Outside of that, man, it was Ira Clifton's day, and Jesse Garcia also had a good relief outing for Alpine.
Yeah, I mean, 6 up, 6 down through 2 innings. Cannot complain. Garcia's been on a heater lately.
Yeah, yes.
Ryan, any final words?
Yeah, actually, I do not.
I'm Rowan Elbert. That's Ryan Wild. Join us same time tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Good night, Alpine.